The ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs is back on the stand for a second day in the music mogul's criminal trial. Cassie Ventura shared shocking allegations of abuse during her testimony yesterday, and she also gave graphic details on these called freak-offs, and then broke down in tears when asked about how she felt about the alleged events. Ventura said they made her feel disgusting and humiliated. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all 5 charges, including sex trafficking.
And a quick note to our viewers right now, CNN's coverage of this trial. You'll see on the left side of your screen, you'll see information coming in from our reporters who are inside the courtroom. It will be updating throughout the show. That's because there is no video or audio recording allowed in federal courts.
All right, let's bring in CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig and former federal prosecutor Elise Adamson. Great to have you both here. So Ventura is still testifying. This is her second day. Right now she is talking about that Uber ride home after the video we've seen from the hotel where Diddy is seen pulling her, attacking her. Tell us about her testimony and why that video is so important.
Well, so this is more corroboration. This is more support that prosecutors are trying to build in to Cassie Ventura's testimony. Of course, the surveillance video of the hotel assault is the most important piece, but now we're seeing the prosecutors use some other pieces of evidence, selfies, text messages, emails, things that were on Cassie Ventura's phone, because they want the jury to believe her unconditionally. And I want to make an important point here, that the defense argument is that yes, this was domestic violence, but it's not racketeering, it's not sex trafficking. But it's important to know, and I think prosecutors are going to argue this, those things are not mutually exclusive. It can be both. In fact, one of the things prosecutors have to show is that there was force or coercion. And so that beating, if I was the prosecutor, I would argue, yeah, you bet it's domestic violence, but it also goes to the sex trafficking and racketeering.
Because the argument could be made that from the prosecution side is that was a form of coercion, that
exactly.
Perhaps she was afraid that she would get beaten up, and that is why she did some of these acts. And we should note, she talked about the selfies where she had a swollen lip and a black eye under her sunglasses. So clearly the prosecution is trying to draw that out. Wolf.
And it's interesting, Elise, because right now we're being told by our reporters who are inside the courtroom that Cassie Ventura reviewed a binder of more than a dozen photos that were shown, and clearly she was upset. She said she typically reached out to escorts to arrange these freak-offs because it was her job, and she felt she would be punished if she didn't do that.
Yeah, that's incredibly important, because remember, the defense opened on the fact that Ventura was a willing participant. That's their theory of the case, that she was Combs's lover and she wanted to be there. And so they had to grapple, the prosecution had to grapple with the fact that Ventura was the one that was arranging some of these freak-offs. I think the prosecution is doing a wonderful job explaining why that was. By framing this as a job instead of something that she wanted to do, it makes it clear that there perhaps was that coercion. And by tying it to that violence, as Ellie just said, the photos, the corroboration of the black eyes, shows that she didn't really have a choice. She was going to be punished if she didn't comply, and that's key.
And she said that she just testified under oath that when she paid these men to be in these so-called freak-offs, it was with Combs's money. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, I think the argument prosecutors are trying to make here is it sounds a little strange, but the freak-offs are not about the sex, or at least the sex is not what's relevant to you, the jury. What's relevant is those freak-offs show the element of coercion, as Elise was saying, and they show that there's some organization at play here. Remember, this is a racketeering charge, the first charge here, and that means that there was some sort of organized enterprise that was committing multiple crimes. So prosecutors need to show this was more than whatever sexual proclivities may have been, felt here by Sean Combs. There was some organization here with respect to people and methods and payments, and I think that's what prosecutors are building on.
Also, another important point, you have the racketeering and the sex trafficking charge, and what I've noticed, and she just talked about it, was the fact that some of this happened across state lines, that it happened in different states, and that is key in terms of the sex trafficking charge. Also, she's talking right now about, in January 2016, that Combs sent her a text that he wanted to have a proper FO, freak-off, where they didn't take ketamine. Of course, drugs have also been a big part of all of this. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, the crossing state lines is what gets us into federal court. It sounds like they're going to have a problem establishing that. This happened in California, New York, New Jersey, Florida, and elsewhere. Yes. So the point with the the freak-offs, and we're going to have a proper freak-off and that kind of thing, and the drugs are part of the persuasion. The drugs are part of the coercion, the threats that make this more than just sex or even more than just domestic violence.
And if I could just add, I mean, that's what Ventura said, that she had to take the drugs to dissociate so she could participate. That doesn't sound like willing participation to me. It probably won't sound like willing participation to a jury.
It's interesting, Elise. Right now, Cassie Ventura is 8 months pregnant with a very visible baby bump. We've learned that the defense asked the judge to have her seated in the witness box before the jury came in, arguing that her pregnancy would prejudice the jury against Combs. The judge said no. What do you think of that request?
Yeah, look, Wolf, I knew the defense had to try, right? Because they're not going to view her as this 22-year-old girl set up all of these meetings. They're looking at her now as a 38-year-old mother, and it could possibly invoke some sympathy in the jurors. Listen, jurors are human beings. They're going to feel things, but you can't hide the fact that this is a pregnant woman. And so I think the judge rightly said no. She's going to be able to walk to the witness stand, and she's not doing anything to inflame the passions of the jury. I don't hear any reporting of her really playing up her pregnancy, but they're going to have to contend with the fact that Cassie is a person, and from everything I've heard from the reporting, she is also testifying very well, very credibly and emotionally.
And she's there with her husband, who's inside with her as well. And just now, we're being told by our reporters in the courtroom that Ventura testified that she tried to avoid kissing the escorts during the so-called freak-offs because it felt too intimate and made me squeamish. That's what she said. And explain to our viewers in terms that we can use here on CNN what these freak-offs were.
Oh boy, that's quite an assignment. What they were these extended, sometimes for a day or 2 days, sexual gatherings. They would usually do them in hotel rooms. Sean Combs would arrange them and engineer them. He would tell Cassie what to do. They would bring in male escorts. One of the things Sean Combs would do is watch Cassie with those male escorts. There were all sorts of lubricants involved. There's baby oil that's part of this case. But again, the thing that's really relevant to this trial is not whether one agrees or disagrees with the sexual proclivities or is offended by it, but were these voluntary activities? And I think the prosecution's point, as Elise was saying, is the more extreme this conduct was, the less likely it is that Cassie Ventura would have consented to this, and that she was doing it because she felt forced or compelled or under a threat.
How should the defense approach questioning Ventura during cross-examination?
What's up, y'all? Yeah, man, this is getting pretty bad. You know, the other day I was asking myself, well, why did she stay? Why was she staying? Which I think is a legitimate question, though, because after years and years and years of this, you would think at some point she would have left. And I know some people say, well, that's typical behavior from somebody who's being abused like that. But, I mean, you still have to ask that question because you're trying to charge this man with racketeering. You're trying to charge him with sex trafficking. And now, after just hearing what I've been hearing, I think that it is sex trafficking because he's been bringing people. They've been going around. They went to Florida, they went to New Jersey, they went to California. He had her hiring these escorts. They was paying these people. Then I heard that they didn't even know that they was having these encounters with P. Diddy. Some of them didn't. I don't think all of them didn't know, but I think most of them didn't know that it was Diddy and Cassie. He said that they had on masks, like full face masks. She would have on a mask, he would have on a mask. And most of the time, Diddy, he would either be like in another room or something. They even said that the video that where Cassie was coming out of the hotel room and Diddy knocked her down and drug her back, they was having a freak off then. But today, she's been having some more testimony. It says that Cassie described Combs coercing her to perform these freak offs. That's why she said that she had to be heavily drugged, which is another form of sex trafficking and another form of, like they say, coercion. The coercion could be the drugs, it could be the beatings. She felt like, she had to stay or she would get punished. She would get beat up, punched. She testified that it was impossible to say how many freak offs she had participated in while she was linked to Combs, though she guessed it may have been hundreds. She said it was every week, like it was a weekly thing. It was so much of an occurrence that she couldn't even get her records out. She couldn't even do her music, even though she had music, she couldn't put it out. And I suspect that was on purpose. Now, with all of that going on, I don't see how you could get any music done. Then it says Cassie said Combs threatened to blackmail her with videos he recorded of her performing during these freak offs. If she upset him, I would have to answer to my mother, she said, according to BBC, stating the videos make me look like a slut. She also said she would suffer UTIs after performing in back-to-back freak-offs to the point that CIPRO, a common UTI antibiotic, no longer worked for her. Now that's crazy. If an antibiotic can't fix anything or cure you from something, that's pretty bad. And I could imagine she would have a lot of UTI infections with all of these different guys she was sleeping with, and he probably didn't want her to use condoms a lot of times. He wanted to see, her get peed on, get skeeted on. Remember, he even had her take the semen and rub it on his nipples. So when you think about that, you can imagine what type of diseases she was exposed to. I'm not sure if she even tested some of these people. They just hired them, I'm assuming. I don't know if they made them go out and go get a test, or even if they did get a test, who knows if they was bringing them back the proper paperwork. Because if you know you're about to get a couple of $1,000 and you really need it, is you really going to get them the real paperwork? You may think, man, I can do this and be gone. They won't even know what happened. They showed the video of Combs attacking Ventura in the hotel in 2016. She said she attended the movie premiere for The Perfect Match, a rom-com she starred in, with sunglasses to hide bruises Combs had given her. I wonder if I can find that picture. What's the name of it? Perfect Match. Say she had on glasses. I don't see her with sunglasses on in these pictures. At the movie premiere. This looks like the movie premiere to me. I don't see her with any sunglasses. I'm sure they would have pictures of that. I don't know if that's just another day of them watching the movie, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure that's the premiere. She don't got on sunglasses. Mm. Ventura detailed another altercation in which Combs knocked me around in a car in 2007 or 2008, and Ventura said Combs had instructed her to stay in a hotel for a week so her wounds could heal. Wow. I even seen where I think that photo, I want to say it was the same, no, not a photo, but it was that video, the 2016, where he knocked her down in the hotel that we saw. It said she took pictures of herself, and when she got in the Uber later on, where she had bruises and whatnot on her face. She said that She testified that violent arguments throughout their decade-long relationship, in which he would too frequently subject her to physical abuse. He would smash me in my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me, stomp me in the head if I was down. She also said Combs first introduced the idea of voyeurism to her between about 6 months to a year into the couple dating, stating Combs had told her he wanted to watch her having sex with another man. Cassie said the idea shocked her, and the idea of participating in freak-offs made her confused and nervous. Much of her time was spent recovering from freak-offs, Ventura testified, which often lasted at least 1 or 2 days, including one that she said lasted more than 4 days. Ventura said the freak-offs were very choreographed. I think I told y'all about that. By Combs, who provided drugs and directed assistants to stock rooms with baby oil. Combs subjected her to freak-offs weekly for a consistent amount of years. The Washington Post reported, I felt pretty horrible about myself. I felt disgusting. I felt humiliated about the freak-offs. She couldn't talk to anyone about it. Combs also controlled Ventura's singing career. She testified, stating he called all of the shots after he signed her to his Bad Boy Records when she was 19 years old, and he controlled her image and physical appearance. This is my question though. Like, after all of those years, does she have some blame in this? And I know some people, no, she's a victim, but still, I have to ask the question: does she have some blame in this? After all these years, you didn't decide to leave. I know you had plenty of opportunities to leave, but she just never did for whatever reason. And then I also got to ask this question: do y'all think that some of these women in these positions almost sell their souls because of the lifestyle, because of the money, that they willing to go along with it? Because as a regular individual like me, just an average 9 to 5 guy, could I get a female to just participate in these freak offs? Could I get her on a weekly thing? And I'm not making a bunch of money. I'm making some good money. I'm taking care of the household, taking care of her. She's taken care of, well fed, clothes. We can go out and do things. But, you know, I'm not buying the Gucci bags, the Louis bags, and all of these expensive gifts and going on yachts and taking trips. So that's why I say, is this kind of a form of like selling your soul to somebody? You just giving everything away because in return you get to live a certain lifestyle, so you accept it. Charles says, after what I heard about Puffy, I better not hear another dude talk about they are freaky. Laugh my ass off, because nope, you're not freaky. Not like Puffy is freaky. Nope. Puffy is freaky, freaky. Like, when I heard the part about the semen, he wanted the semen being rubbed on him, on his nipples. That's a different kind of individual right there. You don't find people like that every day. Or maybe you do, they just be hiding. Who knows? But yeah, back to my question. I mean, is this a form of just selling your soul? Because, like I say, I'm a regular guy. I couldn't get somebody to do that for years and years and years and years and years, knowing that they didn't want to be a part of that. So, as somebody with the resources and the publicity and fame that Diddy has, we know a lot of women that would, yeah, I would do it. How many times have you asked women hypotheticals like that? What if it was a rich guy and he had all of this money and he wanted you to do X, Y, and Z? And the first thing they say, yeah, I would. Girl, I'm going to get that money. Yeah. They willing to do any and everything as long as he going to be on TV with him, take him to Mexico, Italy, France, the Alps, all these little trips. So does she have any hand in this at all? How do I feel? I'm really conflicted because I think she was trafficked. I think I know she's not lying. She was abused. Diddy was using her. He took advantage of her, especially her being young. He kind of got in her head. But this went on for like 10 years. Like, do you ever, because it says at one point she even told her mom and showed her mom her mom took pictures of her with bruises on her. Like, does the mom say, baby, you can just stay with me. Don't even go back over there. Yeah, he's gonna threaten. He's gonna call your mom's house. He's gonna call your friends or whoever you with and threaten them. But go to the police. Like, do something other than what you're doing now. But so many people would just go along with it. And I'm serious. I think it's because he has resources. He has money. He's Diddy. It's another reason why she stayed alone. I think they don't really ask too many questions like that, or people don't really get into that, just because here we go with this. The man is overbearing. He's controlling the female narrative. He's telling her what to do. He's beating on her. But I mean, she wasn't locked in a basement. You know, she wasn't somewhere chained up. They got another on this part. It says security guard Israel Flores said Combs had devilish stare after altercations. Israel Flores, then a security guard at the Los Angeles hotel where Combs attacked ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in 2016 in an incident captured on surveillance cameras, testified first at the trial. He said Ventura appeared scared after the altercation and testified that Combs was sitting in a towel with a devilish stare. Flores said Combs approached him with a stack of money, telling him, "Don't tell nobody." But Flores rejected the apparent bribe. Also on day one, Daniel Phillip, a male escort, is the one who said that he said that Cassie actually asked him to participate in these freakouts. He took the stand testifying he was paid by Ventura to have sex with her at a hotel in 2012 while Combs watched in the corner and masturbated, and then repeated the service multiple times with the couple at various hotels. Now, Diddy's attorneys are actually copping to the fact that yes, he was violent, but they say he's not a sex trafficker. Garagos denied Combs' violent behavior constitutes acts of sex trafficking or other federal crimes. He is physical. He is a drug user. You may know of his love of baby oil. Is that a federal crime? No, Garagos told the jury. Garagos addressed the hotel surveillance footage of Combs attacking Ventura, calling his actions indefensible, dehumanizing, and virtually every bad word you can think of, but said it is not evidence of sex trafficking. Garagos argued Ventura was a willing participant in their sex life while with Combs, and claimed Ventura left Combs on her own terms when she realized she would never be his wife, never be his love of his life. Garagos said Ventura was jealous of the relationship between Combs and his late ex-girlfriend Kim Porter, with whom Combs had 3 children. Garagos also portrayed Combs' other sexual partners as consenting adults and denied they were victims of trafficking. So they trying to use the excuse that Cassie was just jealous that he would never be with her once she realized this. So she just kind of went along with these sex parties and did whatever she had to do just to basically be within the reaches of fame and be seen as somebody. And she kind of just fell into that role. Hold up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so remember, Pamela, she's pregnant.
What you say? Charles says the actions weren't dehumanizing enough until they were no longer beneficial. So, yes, she has some responsibility for it. I agree with you somewhat on that. I do. I think she does have a little bit of responsibility. I know so many people just want to automatically just assume like it's all Diddy, it's all Diddy. But I feel like if you wasn't just locked away, threw away the key in a basement somewhere, you can still get away. I know they had the other incident that I read where Diddy went over Kim's house because she was messing with somebody, and he was like beating on the doors. He wanted to come in. The bodyguard had to actually make him leave the house because he was trying to go through windows, and he was there for hours and hours because he just knew Kim was in there with somebody. And I could see how that would scare any woman. But I mean, after years and years of this, you would think that she would sneak away, go somewhere that he wouldn't know, didn't tell no friends, no family. If anything, contact the police, go to the feds, you know. Who knows? I just don't think she's just completely innocent, but I do think that a lot of this stuff that they are accusing Diddy of that he did do that. And I think he should be punished for it. Because it's really egregious what he's doing. He's forcing her to have sex with these escorts for days. He's forcing her into doing acts with other men that she's not even interested in. She was a young woman. She was infatuated with Diddy. She probably couldn't believe Diddy was like liking her the way he was. They began a relationship. You know, you probably just wanted to do all of this stuff with Diddy, 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 but yet he wants to see you with other people and basically watch these people degrade you while he gets off on it. She said when she met up with some of these escorts, she was paying them with Diddy's money. So Diddy was the one that was supplying the cash, which all goes into the racketeering, the sex trafficking, all of that. Every bit of it.
And that's relevant because of the sensitivities involved in that. At the same time, I think you have to get to the core issue, right? You could, as Ellie said, take what she said. Hey, this happened, that abuse happened. You can believe your eyes, they're not lying. What I want to focus on, ladies and gentlemen, is the issue of a 10-year relationship. And there came a point in year 2 where he brought up to you, that is Sean Combs, that we want to do this. We want to be a little freaky. We want to get other people involved, right? You had an opportunity to say no. Did you? You had an opportunity to walk away in year 3, did you? Year 4, year 5, you continued with it. Is that right? In fact, you paid some of these performers and you wanted and were enjoying these experiences, right? Okay. And so the issue really involves force, fraud, or coercion. And in fact, you called one of the male sex workers back up to re-engage in activities and you, quite frankly, enjoyed it. So it's important to know, Pamela, the issue really is not about a person's sex life on trial. Jurors are not there to be the morality police. They're not there to police whether or not someone has a sex life we agree with, we think is appropriate. We may think they're sick and demented. The issue is it a federal offense? Where's the fraud? Where's the coercion, right? Where is it that there was a gun put to your head and you said, hey, you need to do this? You could have opted out of the relationship, the defense will say, on several occasions. Did you do that? Oh, well, he was affecting my career. Okay, but, right, there are other people besides Sean Combs that you could potentially have relied upon, that you could have potentially gone out with, right? So
See, when you hear stuff like that, well, he was affecting my career. So to me, it seems like, well, you're not too concerned about what's going on. You want to keep your career going. So you're gonna let him hold that over your head? And you're just gonna continue with this? This is why I say I think she does have a level of culpability in this. But she's not totally at fault. I wouldn't say that to dismiss Diddy of his faults at all. Because I think he definitely did that. In the trial, this was about 4 hours ago, it said the court shown pictures of Ventura with the black eye. The court was shown a close-up picture of Ventura's eyebrow and black eye. When asked who gave her the black eye, Ventura responded, Sean. Combs prevented his family from seeing Ventura after she had sustained any injuries, she said. He told me to make sure his son couldn't see me like that. The bruises on my face, Ventura told the court. Cassie said she broke up with Kid Cudi after Combs threats. Now, I remember this. I remember for a time she was talking to Kid Cudi, and then it just stopped. I want to say that Cudi ended up saying something about it. Yeah, let me see if I could. Just let me see. I'm gonna just. I thought he did. I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah. Boom. Let me just play this. This wasn't Kid Cudi, but this one is from Vlad TV. A guy named Roger Bonds.
Well, this situation with Kid Cudi was mentioned in the lawsuit as well. So in the lawsuit, she said that Diddy found her phone and found emails between her and Kid Cudi. Diddy became enraged, proceeded to place a manual corkscrew between his fingers and lunged at Cassie. Cassie ran away to stay at Kid Cudi's home to escape. Soon afterwards, one of Diddy's staff members told Cassie that he just needed to talk to Combs, even though he was angry. Feeling like she couldn't escape, she returned back to Diddy. Diddy hit her several times and kicked her in the back as she tried to run out the door. She went to her parents' home in Connecticut, where her mother took pictures of the bruises that Diddy left on her. Then in February 2012, during Paris Fashion Week, Diddy told her that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and he wanted to make sure that Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. And around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in the driveway.
Now that's crazy. That's crazy. He gonna blow up somebody else's car, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
They even said, this came out yesterday, that it was a point where at one of these freak-offs, Diddy had heard that Suge Knight was in town. Suge Knight left with some of his security. They got loaded up guns and everything and went down there to go meet him. Now, they didn't say what happened. They didn't say how it turned out. But they said Diddy left one of these freak-offs to go see what happened. I mean, to go see about Suge Knight. He was at some diner or something eating, and they rolled up on him. Shit is crazy. Dude is insane, bro.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
heard
know
about
about
that.
this car blowing up?
I heard about that. I definitely heard about that. And I found it quite funny that the car actually did get blow up. So I would say that was accurate. I would say that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I guess after that, Cuddy didn't want anything to do with Cassie because this was like, okay, this was my bargain for.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have nothing to do with her anymore after that.
How do you blow up someone's car?
That's a good question.
I mean,
Especially how do you tell somebody you're going to blow up their car and then it blows up?
yeah, you'd have to send someone to put a bomb under their car. I mean, even having a bomb is already makes you a terrorist.
Well,
at
they
that
got
point.
they got so many different things that you can make now, cocktails and all type of other stuff. But
Yeah, but still, that's a form of terrorism, just like he said. Like, that's crazy. To even blow up somebody's car. If you're a prominent individual, why would you be blowing up somebody's car? You could kill somebody. What if you didn't know somebody was in there? What if his kids or something got in the car and you, man, he's a nut. Charles says, think about fear factor. Under normal circumstances, you would not eat bull balls, but people did it every week on TV for the amount of money. So morality and self-respect have a price for some. Yep. Like I was saying, she got some level of culpability in this. You know, everybody got a price tag. And I think a lot of women, this is what they fall prey to, is this price tag. These rich individuals, these guys with a lot of money, these guys with a lot of resources, you know, they're on TV, they famous. They have something that these women really want to take part in or be a part of. And to me, they really just sell their soul to be a part of it. And a lot of them, I think they go through all of this and realize after so many years that they didn't like it. And then they say, oh, well, you know, he sexually assaulted me for years and he coerced me for all of these years and made me do all of these things. But I just got to ask the question, is it always after the fact that you've got the cars, you got the money, you got the fame? And once that's ran out, then you want to speak up? Because when you was being seen with this person, you was going on all of these trips, you didn't say anything. And that's for me, that I have to ask that question. Because we see this so much when it comes to these women and these charges with these prominent people, that they always come to these realizations after the fact of all these incidences happening to them, all these crimes that's being committed against them.
yeah, I heard about that.
I guess. And at that point, you were essentially gone. You were kind of phasing out.
After that situation is when I left.
Right. And you went to go work for Ciroc.
And I went to work for Ciroc, yes.
Now, working at Ciroc, your pay was lowered.
My pay was lower. There was something that Diddy told me when he asked me if I wanted to leave. See, a lot of people get the misconception that I got fired. And no, I went to Diddy, and through the grapevine, I was trying to figure out ways to get away from him because it was just too much. The drugs was too much. The fighting was too much. It was like I was a babysitter. I'm getting between him and his girlfriends fighting, him and Cassie fighting. So I had to figure out a way to keep my job and still be able to leave. So that's when I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I went and told Puff, yo, I heard you got an ambassador job open at Ciroc. He said, how you heard that? I said, come on, I've been here for 10 years. I said, people talk to me. And then he said, all right, just give me some time. About a week later, he said, okay, I'm gonna let you go over there. He said, but you know you ain't making the same money over there that you're gonna make with me because I don't have no control of it. Even though he did have control of it, I think he thought that was something that was gonna sway me. But I had already made up my mind, like enough is enough, because it was getting to the point where we gonna hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna keep letting you do this. I'm not gonna keep letting you talk to people, more or less talk to me, because Puff talks shit. And coming from where I come from, sometime him talking shit, I had to catch myself. And it was one time where he said I had lied to him. And I said, who the fuck is you for me to lie to? And Uncle Paulie came over to me and was like, yo, 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 yo. And I caught myself. And that's when I said, you know what? It's time for me to get out of here.
Yep, he did the right move because Diddy is seeming like a wild individual. But it was more than one incident with him and Cassie and Kim. I mean, this dude right here had a couple of stories. He even had this one about Kim. I ain't even gonna play the first part. I'll just play the second part.
Okay, well, like I said, this happened in 2005. You had been with Diddy for 2 years at this point. Leading up to this, had you seen any sort of violent altercations from Diddy?
I seen him get into arguments. I seen one altercation. It was a young lady, I believe her name was Erica.
Okay.
And that was his girlfriend at the time. I seen them get into one big fight. At this time, I'm basically rather new, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't step into the situation, but the situation also didn't escalate to stomping out or beating up. It was basically an argument that turned into a smack, and then they went upstairs.
So he smacked her in the face?
Yes.
Open hand?
It wasn't closed hand. Yeah, it was
open hand. Okay, how did she react when she got smacked?
Nah, she was a very timid, and she worked for Sean John. So being that she worked there, it was but so much she could do. And they was together for quite a while. They was together for quite a while.
Now, this was the first situation that you knew about between Kim Porter and Diddy, but it was not the last.
Right, it wasn't the last.
How many fights did you see, physical fights, did you see between Kim Porter and Puffy?
I seen 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the first one?
That was the first one.
Name me the other 2.
The other 2 was one time when we went to Kim's house and Puff was banging on the door, banging on the door, banging on the door. The rumors were that she was inside with a guy and he was like, yo, we not leaving here. We not leaving here until I get in this house. And I was like, yo, it's 12 o'clock at night, Puff. What are we doing? He was like, yo, she's in the house. She's in the house. So about 1:30, 2 o'clock, I looked at him and said, yo, we gonna get locked up sitting outside. Because we was in Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
And he was going around to every window trying to get in and everything else. So the next day when they got together, they went into the room and I heard some tussling and stuff like that. I didn't actually see what was going on, see what was happening. And then it was another time that I explained earlier that we were at the Beverly Hills Hotel. What type of argument they got into, I don't know. But he said, yo, get out the car, Barnes. And I got out the car. And next thing I knew, I seen the car rumbling, shaking, this, that, and the other. So then I opened up the door and said, yo, we in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel. So then Kim got out the car, she fixed her hair, and she said, yeah, like I said, she said, I want to explain. Put your hands on me again, and you're going to have to explain this scratch that I'm about to put on your face. And Kim knew how to, Kim got to the point where she wasn't going for it. She wasn't having it. She knew that if she at least fought back, that it was a chance that she could leave a mark on him. And if she left a mark on him, he had a lot of explaining to do of what Mark was about. So by her saying that, it would check him and put him back into his place like, yeah, I can't do that to her, you know?
Now, wasn't there a story that Kim had cut the inside of Puffy's arm or there's an artery that was bleeding or something like that?
Yeah, that's on the wrist, but that was when Gene was there. That wasn't when I was there. But the rumors and the scar is there, but I never knew what it was from.
So you saw the scar on
Yes.
on his wrist. Okay, but this was a Gene Deal story.
Yes.
Got it. And I guess Kim stayed because she knew, eventually, once she had 3, technically 4 kids with Puffy, because the first son was technically adopted by Puff. And if she ever decided to leave, It's like, what, $30,000 a month? She would just basically be making a bunch of money anyways, so she wasn't really tripping, or?
It was, I'm going to tell you a story. It was a time, I used to carry all the money, right, in the Louis Vuitton bag. That was Puff's personal bag, and I would carry it all the time. And it was one time that we was in the LA house, and I guess Puff pulled out the money without remembering that he left condoms inside the bag. So when he's showing his money, I guess the condoms came out. And the next thing I heard was, Bonds, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. So I pick up the pieces, yo, come to my room, come to my room. And he said, yo, would you tell Kim that you carry the bag and you carry the money all the time? I said, yeah, so would you tell Kim this is your condoms inside of it? I said, damn, Puff, I left the condoms in the bag, my fault. I said, I'm sorry, Kim. And she just looked at me with a funny look. You know what I'm saying? And then we went out, I walked out the room, and Kim came about 5 minutes later. And she said, Bonds, both of you motherfuckers gonna go to hell. I said, what you talking about, Kim? So she said, both of y'all gonna go to hell. She said, I know that ain't your motherfucking condoms in that bag. And she distinctly said to me, she said, I go for this shit because I will allow it. She said, remember, I got 4 of them. And then about 3 minutes later, Puff seen that she was talking to me. He said, yo, what she say? I said, she said, she go for this shit because whenever she get tired of it, she wants you to know she got 4 of them. I said, what she mean by that? He said, yeah, she damn sure do got 4.
Got 4 kids. And she got him by the nuts. That's why all the stuff is talking. They saying her death, the thing that happened to Al B. Sure. They say all that wasn't a coincidence. That's been speculated for years. And I'm sure if Diddy goes down for this, I can guarantee you that is going to pop up again. That's going to be investigated some kind of way. And I wouldn't be surprised if whatever time he gets, they find out that he has something to do with that. They're going to lock his ass. They're going to make sure his ass never get out. This trial could possibly make sure that he never gets out. Charles says, do you think they're going to bring up what happened to Wale? I don't know. When it comes to this case, I don't know if they're going to bring up all of these other incidences. I don't think so. I don't think so, bro. They could, but I don't think so. I was just looking that up too when you said that, because I remember that, but now I just seen this video right here. It's from Cam Capone News. Dude named Ant Glizzy said he saw it. He saw this. So let's check it out.
And Diddy came in?
I was just in the studio one day. We was prepped by Wale. I was with Wale. I was with Shy. But we was going with Wale to a studio. Before we got there, prior to going to the studio, he had told us we about to be around Cassie, and Diddy don't really like people around Cassie. So watch the way we look, watch what we say, just stuff like that. Long story short, somebody gave Diddy the drop on the studio that Wale was in there working with Cassie, and they walked in there in the studio and hung Wale ass off a balcony and jacked him up, pressed him out. And that's how the story just went viral. Me and Shy seen it, but we ain't help him. We ain't help him at all. I thought he was fluff. He was high than the rest, high than the rest of them because I seen his Nike boots.
So what all happened? You know, Cassie was in the booth and Wale was in there with her or something?
It's like a studio, and you can see through the studio. It's a booth, but it's like a balcony connected to the studio. You can see the balcony and the studio, but we looking through the glass. They got the curtains. There's curtains back there, but the curtains we can see through the curtains. And we just, first of all, we know we went to the studio. We've been around Wale Day. We know what he got on. We see the balcony. We know we hear the doom, 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 doom. That's what makes us run to the window to look through the curtains. So now we looking through. As we looking through, Wale feet, and all you see is feet and ankles. You don't see him. But when he come back out like an hour later. After they left, he came out an hour later after they left. Like he still was jacked up, sweating a little bit. I guess he tried to play it off and act like nothing happened. But we damn sure got up and looked once the boom, 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 when we knew what went on in there. But Cassie left out with them though. Like they left out. It was only Wale still back there and a couple other people. The engineer and like 2 of his people went back there and checked on him. But we ain't care. Shy act like he was at the bathroom. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. But the whole time we seen it all.
That's crazy. He got the man dangling over the balcony. I'm trying to figure out, is Diddy that strong to be holding somebody over a balcony like that? I don't know. Maybe a guard or a bodyguard or somebody was helping him. Because I don't see him. He don't look that strong to me. He don't look like he's that type of individual who could dangle somebody over a balcony. Maybe he could, but I don't think he could. I'm pretty sure he had help, or maybe it wasn't like he's saying. Maybe he wasn't completely like had him by his ankle. I don't know if it was like that. Maybe he kind of had him leaned over far enough where he could kind of keep his weight, tipped back where he wouldn't completely just fall off the balcony. But his feet was more than likely off the ground by what he's saying. Back to this Cassie. Also, it says Cassie recalls, this is from today, this was 5 hours ago. It says Cassie recalls another alleged incident of physical violence. Cassie recalled another incident in which she alleged Combs beat her, saying he got angry with her after she was at a party at Prince's house. Ventura went to the basement, believing the late artist was going to play music, she told the court. I caught a glimpse of him, Combs, so I ran out as fast as I could because I thought he was angry, Ventura recalled. I knew he was angry, his facial expression. He came after me. Later, at a Los Angeles hotel room where she was staying, she said Combs beat me up and threw luggage at me. I had bruising on my face, knots on my head. So he was mad because she was in the checking out Prince, just playing music. Maybe he thought that she was down there trying to get freaky with him. He got so paranoid, he didn't even want her to be with anybody else. Like, that's insane. Cassie describes alleged beating that happened inside a car. She recalled a violent outburst by Combs that she said happened early in the relationship that left her shocked and angry. Ventura says she had spotted Combs flirting in a restaurant with another woman, and when they got back to their car, the rapper knocked me around in an outburst that allegedly happened in either 2007 or 2008. He hit me on the side of my head, and I fell to the floor of the Escalade. He shook me up and scared me quite a bit. So I got out of the car. I was shocked. I didn't understand what had happened and why he was so angry. She added, I knew his capabilities, his access to guns and threats he made. So he was just a bully to everybody. Anybody who got in his way, he just basically terrorized him, bro. If you didn't do what he wanted you to do, it was always going to be an issue. Which is a reason why his music, his label fell off like it did. It wasn't producing any artists. Remember, every artist was just going over there just to die. Like nothing was happening on Bad Boy. If you heard about somebody getting signed to Bad Boy, you knew they wasn't coming out. It just went over there and just went silent. I remember that because I was coming up, after Biggie and all the Mace and all of them. It just kind of fell off. You would hear him signing these people, and then he did the Bad Boy South. I think he had, who was that? It was Jeezy, Jody Breeze, Young Gee, Big Duke. What was the name of that group? Boys in the Hood. It was Boys in the Hood. And that album, I listened to it. I liked that album. That album was pretty good to me. I liked the majority of that album. It was maybe one or two songs that I didn't like on that album. I still listen to it to this day. But hey, nothing ever popped off from it. Well, I know Jeezy ended up doing his own thing, but still. Puffy is a really weird dude because he pays men to have sex with her, but gets jealous if another dude talks to her. Yeah, that is strange. He pay other men to have sex with her, and I'm talking about some crazy acts, pissing in her mouth, shooting semen on her. He made him do. He probably should do gang. He probably watched her do all the gang bangs, all of that stuff. 2 or 3 guys having sex with her at one time. He just enjoying it. But yet, if she is perceived to be talking to somebody else, he would lose it. And I bet he would even lose it if he thought she was like looking at somebody. If they went out somewhere and it was another individual there and she probably looked in their direction for too long, I bet you he assaulted her then too. I bet you he was that type of guy. I'm pretty sure. Just based off what they saying, I'm sure he was that kind of person. Crazy individual. I think when he messed up with Cassie, that's when he knew. I think he knew that's when he knew everything was about to crumble. Because if you remember his tone and his voice, oh my God, they picking that up on Twitter now. Lord have mercy. You can see the look in his eye. He knew it was a wrap. He just knew it.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
You can see it. He knew it. He just knew he messed up. He was on video and he got caught and the video came out. This guy.
I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
No, you're not.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
He wasn't sorry.
Holmby Field Hills, believed to be connected to Sean Combs, the rapper and music executive, perhaps being linked to a sex trafficking investigation.
He got some shots of a few people coming out of home. Those people have been detained. Now we're trying to still connect the dots. We do have some sources on scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Film, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed and they've been very tactful, would probably be the best word to use, as they made entry into this home this afternoon. We actually watched them as they made their way through one of these side gates, and as soon as they got inside the home, one of the first things they did was made their way into this garage that you see is open right there. Now they they take a couple people into custody. We witnessed that. Now, are they under arrest? Are they just being asked about what they know? That I can't answer, but I can tell you there's 3 people right there that were taken into custody, were inside that home at the time of the raid.
We did see a bunch of investigators going in, making the raid in there and clearing that as well. So they're going to do a thorough search as they conduct this raid. And so far, Stu, from what I understand and from Haley on the ground there, they have not seen, and we have not seen from our vantage point, any sign of Sean Combs, the 54-year-old who is believed to be the property owner of this.
Remember, he was stressing after that? He was stressed out. Diddy was stressed out. I think it was a video of him being on the phone. He was talking to somebody right before they arrested him. Well, before he turned himself in. So let me see if they got anything going on with this trial. What?
As we wait for more updates. All right, folks, we are getting some new updates that I want to bring to you back out live Now from Fox World, continuing our coverage from inside of the courtroom in New York City. Okay, we are learning that there is some breaking news regarding this trial. Cassie has broke down on the stand. She began to sob and cry. So right now, Cassie breaking down on the stand. Court is going to have to take a break. They're trying to take about a 10-minute break. We wanted to bring that to you. It all happened because prosecution has been asking for the last 20 minutes or so a timeline of abuse allegations that Diddy did to Cassie. So I'm going to read out just some of the transcript here for you. And let's go back in time about 20 minutes. Let me do that for you. All right, let's go back here. So the assistant U.S. attorney saying, when did Sean first use violence?
I don't know who's all watching. I think I'm going to jump over here real quick with somebody else. I'm going to keep it on. I'm going to just what they call a simulcast. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can pull y'all in. See what I can do here. I'm sure I can. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull y'all in. Damn, this shit bright.
Too long. I didn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Shit, bro. We going through these transcripts, man. I got the transcripts from yesterday and today. Man, they wild, bro. They crazy. You been following it? Mhm. That's the next room. They had to do it in the next room, which is weird. Why in the next room? Yep, I just read it. Yep, I just read it. Yeah, FaceTime. Um. Okay, so what happened next? So this, I guess the first time she got hit, but Sean hit me. So I was trying to figure out what kind of premiere, but we'll skip that. What happened? Oh, a premiere, The Perfect Match. You talking about a movie? Oh, I didn't know that. Hmm. Did it ever go anywhere? Hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine letting her doing something serious. Do I sound far away from the phone?
No, you sound like.
Okay. Because I got this new microphone. I don't know if it's playing through my phone or what.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey. Yeah.
Oh, what's good, bro? My bad. No, it's all, it wasn't even like that. I was actually fucking around with this mic thing. No, I'm over here salty, bro. They didn't clap my Twitter page, bro.
Are
I
you sure
know,
they?
right?
Why
No, I
y'all
don't think they
always
clapped
getting
me.
clapped? Like, what's going on?
I ain't never, this one, I ain't never clapped. This is the first time. I didn't have my Twitter since '09. But, I
You
don't
sure?
know. I'm gonna give it a day or so.
Yeah, I don't think you probably didn't.
You say it's still there, right?
Yeah. Last time I seen it. Yep.
All right. Well, I'll give it a day or so. And then I'm gonna try to relog in.
No, my bad. I had to go back and how frequent did the freakouts become? All right. I had to go
Nah,
find
reading
it.
you reading these transcripts out loud, it sounds like a fictional novel.
Oh.
It sounds like something from 50 Shades of Grey.
You know, it's essentially what it is, though.
Charles say
I
pretty
mean, that
soon we
shit
are
comes from
not going to
somewhere.
be able to
People actually
listen
do
to
this
any
type of shit.
music from
No,
the
yeah, they do. I
90s
mean, look how
and
far
early
Young Miami
2000s because
got.
R. Kelly and Puffy
She
had
did
Young
stole
Miami
our
was
childhood.
excited about that shit.
but even though she was excited and she did everything, Diddy really didn't want her that much.
Nah,
He
you're
didn't
Yeah, she was
right.
obsess
excited
over.
about it.
They all messing it up for
Yeah,
everybody,
she
bro.
wanted it.
They all messing it up. Even though a lot
And
of
it
us are
doesn't bring
still
him
listening to
excitement
that
from
music.
somebody who wants
I
it.
still listen to
It
R.
brings
Kelly
him
from time to
excitement from
time.
somebody
You
who
know, I
doesn't
think
want
people
it
still gonna
because
listen to
he'll
it, but it is gonna
eventually
be kind of
break
a
into
hindrance,
her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
you know,
Break her
to make
down.
people have a cause to pause.
Yeah, I think she was very gullible. I think she actually thought that, hey, it's a long line of women who would love to be in this position right now. So she felt like she didn't want to mess it up, you know. Um, and
Who, Miami
no, I'm talking about Cassie.
or Cassie?
Yeah, felt like she was, what I'm saying, like up there in New York and stuff like that, bro. Bro, these chicks be fucking and sucking and doing all this shit every day for
That's not
crumbs,
true. I'm from New York.
and shit. I'm talking about. Well, I'm not talking about you, but mhm.
For the right price? For the right price. I mean, that's why I like to compare Young Miami to Cassie. Young Miami was getting 500,000 a month. That's why she stopped doing music for like what, a year and a half to 2 years, almost. She was getting
Damn,
500,000 a month
could do what? To she
to
was
to
doing a
be
free
his
call.
muse.
Oh, okay. Why didn't have her testify? They shut her up here.
Oh she got her Honda Civic. That's what everybody's saying on Twitter and other areas of Twitter. She got her Honda Civic and dipped. I guess she don't want to be tied to it because allegedly, Saucy Santana, the gay rapper, allegedly he was in sex parties too with Diddy.
So when,
Who?
yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. That gay ass dude. Talking about that
Wait,
fat,
who did you say?
the fat Rick Ross faggot looking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. What name did she say? She said a name, I'm sorry. I
Saucy
didn't catch
Santana.
that. Oh, the faggot? Oh, yeah. Pause. I didn't even know that.
So, all right. So he was in the next room while he was finishing off and got it rubbed on him. Do y'all think it might be some fucking like maybe it ain't even sexual to him? Maybe it's some young like living forever type of shit. Like like what preserving his like youth. Rubbing semen on in the next room like he didn't even want to be in there. That's kind of weird.
I mean, if you want to say it that way, it does sound like a ritual being performed. Uh, um, what is the humiliation ritual?
A humiliation ritual.
Mm-hmm. And you do
Because
see other people body fluids. You know what I'm saying to get the shit started.
while we thought that this was happening, you know what I'm saying, maybe every few weeks, you know what I'm saying, they said that this was going on majority of the time, 45 times a week. 45 times a week. That means yeah, yeah, Diddy was this is what he did most of his time, period. It wasn't spending time with his kids, what it wasn't making music, it was this the whole time. It was this. I still got a lot more to go. We got some write-ins.
I don't want to sound explicit or insensitive, but I want to know did she orgasm from any of the parties, any of the encounters? Like did she bust a nut?
Let's see. She
But
probably
but
didn't
in the
have it.
beginning she wasn't. I don't think in the beginning of the whole thing, like what
Yeah, she probably liked it then. I mean, from what she said today about how she caught so many UTIs doing this to the
mm,
point where she couldn't even the antibiotics wouldn't work anymore.
mm,
So that's gonna come up later on.
that's heavy.
I always like that, bro. These billionaires, bro. Listen, you know that at a certain point, you keep doing something over and over again, you're gonna get tired of that. You're gonna need something more every time. And this dude, he had the money, he had the time. Like, bro, like imagine you a billionaire and you got basically unlimited money, time, women, people, everybody at your expense. At a certain point, bro, you're gonna be doing some crazy shit.
This nigga wanted to be Great Gatsby so bad.
He gonna be doing some crazy ass shit at some point, bro. 10 years down the road, 15, 20, 30 years down the road, you been having freak offs 4 to 5 times a week, bro. By the time you get to that 30-year mark, nigga, you gonna be hanging from a ceiling with a goddamn banana in your ass, man.
Can I paint a picture for y'all if y'all allow me? You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You gotta step into the mind of Diddy, right? And a freak, you get what I'm saying? So here you got Cassie, young and untouched, you get what I'm saying? So I think he kinda like put her on to some sexual shit. I think in the beginning the sexual acts was done on her. So he probably got two bitches to eat Cassie pussy. Or a bitch to lick her ass and she thinking, oh, this is like princess treatment. But and then he put her on to the dragon in the dungeon type shit. And that's what she couldn't handle is because wait a minute, you said I could get my pussy eaten by three different people. I don't gotta do nothing. But now you gotta pee on me. Now I gotta rub semen into your nipples. Now I gotta be on 4 different type of drugs. She didn't sign up for that.
She first said that she when she first did it, the reason why she agreed to do it and she lied and told him that she liked it is because she was happy that he was finally opening up to her with some vulnerability. Like he's opening up to me and telling me his deepest dark secrets. And so I wanted to comfort him on that. You feel me?
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe it. That sounds plausible. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me support my man. This is in her head. She did think it was her man, even though up in here they did say they was not exclusive.
And he was still married to Kim Porter.
Yeah, you still married to Kim Porter, but in her head, a 19-year-old head. Okay, she think this is my man. We in love. This is the real us, and he's finally opening up to me and telling me, what's in his mind. Let me comfort him and pat him on the back and tell him it's gonna be okay, and do some dungeon sex. Tell you this shit crazy, bro. I'm gonna keep going. What? So this is her first time saying, "Hey, I gotta go to this premiere," and so P Diddy hit her, okay, because she decided to not do the freak off that day, in between sessions. So it was 2 sessions that day, and then so the prosecutor asked, "What happened next?" I got to the elevator. Next thing I knew, I was thrown to the ground. Prosecutor, who threw you down? Sean, it's P Diddy. He grabbed me by my neck and my hoodie. Let me show you the video, prosecutor said. Hotel hallway video played. Okay, is that the one that was captured on video? What are you doing? Trying to use the hotel phone? What is Sean doing? Taking my phone and my bag? That right there is a serious crime. If for folks out there, if you ain't know, if you can get charged, that's a felony offense. Taking somebody's phone away while they're trying to call the police, especially a domestic violence case. Okay.
Hey, Losky, somebody on my side just said that uh he was never married to Kim Porter. He was never married to Kim Porter. I thought they was
Oh
married.
yeah, that's right. He sure wouldn't. He sure wouldn't. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
He wasn't even here.
Oh, I thought they were
Me
married.
too.
But she lived in the house.
Yeah, they live together. So I think it's a lot of celebrities doing that. Kendrick Lamar never married his. Like it seemed like a lot of people are just not marrying each other. Dang, so Diddy can fuck,
Huh.
suck, can't bring lineage. So somebody we got to write in. So Diddy can fuck and get sucked, but can't bring lineage-based reparations to the vote. I guess not. Well, he was actually working on it with the Revolt TV was actually doing some real good work, bro. 6 months prior to all this shit coming out, this nigga was about to have he was in talks to give Tesla and Figaro and Tariq Nasheed their own show together. They was gonna co-host a show together. Hold on.
Man, this is deep. That's why I had to stop reading the transcripts.
Okay, so that's it for yesterday. So I'm about to go now today. All right.
So she said she was getting a lot of UTIs.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're about to get into right now.
You
All
know,
right.
spit can cause a UTI, but I'm mic up. I'm muted.
So I had 2 nurses in my space today, and we was talking about that part. So they said that yeah, you can, and really they should come up here. I need to get them in here to talk about that. But we're gonna get to it. Waiting in the back, produced them from cross examination. Okay, all rise. The judge said all rise. This is for the day. Yesterday, so the prosecutor, so this Emily prosecutor, attorney general. I mean, not attorney general. Attorney, USA attorney, Emily Johnson, a white woman. I pulled her up right here. Let me pull her up again. Okay, this is Emily Johnson right here.
Charles say, why would it turn
All
you on with a woman that's having
young white
sex?
woman.
Hold on, let me.
So this is the prosecutor
It
that's
says,
that's
why
doing the
would
questioning for the day.
it turn you on that your woman is having sex with another dude
Emily Johnson.
while her
Okay,
cycle is on? I don't know.
got it.
When
Good.
I heard that, bro, I couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe it. Like,
Yesterday,
let
you
alone
testified
me messing
about
with my
Sean
woman on a
going
cycle, but
armed to look
want to
for
see
Suge
somebody
Knight.
else do it with her on her
Then
cycle.
Cassie said Sean took guns with
It's a
him,
different level of
and
kinks
he
that's
told you
going
to
on
ask
in
the escorts if they were
it was
cops.
sick.
She
And I
asked.
appreciate you coming through, Lale Z.
I would
By
begin
that,
by
he said
saying
he
I
landed
was not a
lightly too. I
cop.
appreciate y'all coming through.
That
I'm
would
actually on
Cassie
somebody else's
said, and I
podcast
guess the
right now,
online
and we just
exchange.
talking about the case.
Sean told you to
And
do
he's
that,
reading
and she
some
said yes. And then
transcripts and whatnot. So
I
I'll
think it's
continue
that
that
old
back
played
and
out
forth.
trope.
You know, if
They
y'all
said
got
that
comments over here, I'll let you know. If you want to
if
see
they
me
ask
do it
somebody
right
if they're a
now,
cop, whenever you're going to get a
I'll let
prostitute,
you
you
know.
soliciting for a prostitute. If you ask them if they're a cop, they supposed to say they are one a cop if they are. If they actually a cop, like they not allowed to say no. And I don't think that was a thing. That sounds stupid. Why was that sounds stupid. But I don't know. But anyways, back to it. What happened when? Yesterday you testified. I would begin by saying I was not a cop. Okay, yes. What happened when you fought back? The prosecutor asked. I did that more earlier in the relationship. It would make him more violent, want to push me harder. The defense objection to the speculation, and the judge overruled. How would Sean react if you fought back? Anger, she said. I'm going to show you the LA Intercontinental Hallway again. Play from a minute 43 to a minute 46. Who's Sean? What's in his hand? He doesn't appear to have anything. Play to 1 minute 59 seconds. Now anything in his hand? And Cassie said, "Yeah, my phone." How did he get it? Well, he took all my stuff. Where does he end up? Sitting in a chair in front of the window. What are you doing? I'm walking away from him. Now, who's in the video? Me and security. In this one, play from 5 minutes 31 seconds. Where did you go from the hotel? To my house. I took an Uber. Now let's turn to text messages. Can you read page 4? Please call. I'm surrounded. That's what Cassie said. Please call. I'm surrounded. Okay. It's gonna get good, y'all. Just bear with me here. Everybody make sure you share and retweet if you haven't already. Thank you. Okay, so from she was running around in a towel. I told him to put the robe on. Who sent? Who sent these green messages? I did. I wrote to Sean. Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay. Peace. Who was Jules? And she answered the escort. Is this Jules? And they showed a picture. Yes. They showed evidence B606 and 607 side by side. That's me. Then another picture. That's me. A selfie of me with a fat lip. When did you take it? In the Uber with one of my phones. What did you write here? I said, please stay away from me, prosecutor. And what does he say? He says, I'm getting arrested. Was he? And then she said, I don't think so. What did you write back? Plugging my phone in and going to bed. Prosecutor said, who was at your home when you got there? Carrie Morgan. She was upset when she saw me. She called the police. Did you speak with them? Yes, but I didn't say who I was talking about and they left. Why? Prosecutor asked. I wasn't ready. Did Sean try to come to your apartment? She said, yes. He was banging. That was pretty normal from him, but this is pretty private building. Did you hear from Miss Corian that day? Yes, and I went to see D Rock and his wife to try to feel safe. Okay, so that was security guard D Rock. Okay. Yeah, surround. She was talking about okay, how far was that ago? That was a while ago. Let's go back to it. Hold on. Security. I think she said it was her. I think it was okay. So here we go. Let's turn to text message. Can you read page 4? All right. So P Diddy had said. P Diddy had said, "I'm surrounded." Who sent it said please call. I'm surrounded. And then the prosecutor asked who sent that. Cassie said, Sean. He was running around in a towel. I told him to put the robe on. Who sound like they was high. He said they was high all the time. They both admitted to being high the entire time. He was running around in a towel. I told him put a robe on, his glasses. I did. I wrote to Sean, Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay. Peace. So she wrote that after that whole situation. This sounds like some damn Whitney and Bobby shit. You just both bipolar, both crazy and high, and just getting into crazy shit. Running around doing crazy shit all day in front of everybody. I've
But
been
that's what
watching.
I'm saying. Is there a real case against Diddy? Like, what harm did he cause other than psychological trauma?
Yeah, we about to get into the coercion part. It's about to pick up. Who? Okay, so maybe I'm going to show you. Do you know the name of this person? No. And what cities did you use him? Like, okay, okay, I went ahead a little bit. Okay, in this photo, what are you wearing? And then Cass said a gown and sunglasses. I had a black eye. What if any other bruises were visible? I had several bruises on my leg, but I changed clothes. What's this? Prosecutor asked. Me and Sean at an after party. I'm going to show you escorts. Do you know the name of this person? Prosecutor asked. No. In what cities do you use him? New York. Who's this? Islander. He was on Latin Men. He was on Latin Men. We used him in L.A. and maybe Vegas. Who's this? And they showed another pictures. Evidence 2A616. We called him Tummy. Who is this? The prosecutor asked. I know him as Greg, an escort in Miami. So she's just picking up picture after picture, showing different pictures of all the different escorts. Who is this? Jonathan. We saw him in Miami, and then she had picked up another picture. Who's this? And it had a red baseball cap backwards. I don't know. He looks familiar from the freak offs. All right. Then the prosecutor said, "What did you write here?" This is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something. What did you mean by this is we do? And then so she had read a tweet. Cassie had read a tweet, okay? This is all we do. This is what the tweet had said. This is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something. And then the prosecutor, she wanted to know, what do you mean by this is all we do? And then Cassie said, I meant the freak offs. That's all we do. The prosecutor said, did you try to avoid anything in the freak off? I tried to avoid kissing. It seems too intimate, but Sean told me to do it to kiss the escorts. What did Sean ask you to do on your 29th birthday? A freak off. Uh, Cassie said, he had me pulled out of the blind dragon for the freak off. Some security. Where's the blind dragon is? Was that, a restaurant? Kind of like a Chinese, like a sushi shop. Karaoke bar in West Hollywood. Ooh, it sounds fun.
The Blonde Dragon. It sounds
Hmm.
like a place to get a massage and have a happy ending, but I could be
Oh, okay. Got JB Smooth up in there. We got, what's this?
it's not JB Smooth. Oh, that's funny. JB Smooth. You know, he from Mount Vernon as well.
For real?
I know his family. I know his mom. I'm from Mount Vernon.
Okay. Yeah. So this was like a little freaky spot. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's see about it. Okay. Okay. Cool. That was super small. No, y'all probably didn't see it. Rod. Oh, Rod's still up here, right? Sean. Boss lady. Okay. All right. Cool. Had me pull out a blind dragon for freak offs. Some security. What about blackmail material? See, they trying to get
Oh
to the
yeah,
meat and bones of it.
you shouldn't be able to hear
What
me.
about blackmail material?
You shouldn't be
He
able to hear
wanted me
me
to
on X.
fear.
I'm
That's what the
muted.
Cassie said. He
Like
wanted me to
you,
fear.
if you on
Objection.
this feed,
Defense.
like right now, you should be
Judge
able to hear me
overruled.
because I'm muted on his feed.
When was Sean
But then
mentioned the
when I
freak
start
off
talking on his
videos
feed,
to
I
hurt
muted
me?
on my feed,
One time I was dating
and
someone else and he threatened to release the
you have
freak
to hear
off
me over
videos.
there.
I'd have to answer to my
Put it on my
brother.
page. So if
I
y'all
mean,
can't
to my
hear me when I
mother.
start
It's
talking
horrible and
to
disgusting.
low
No one
school,
should do that to anyone.
then y'all have
What
to
did
go on my
Sean
Twitter
say
page and
the impact would
click on
be?
that video.
Shame, she said.
But pretty much, yeah. If
Let
I'm
me
over here
show you a
talking like
chat.
right now, you should be able to hear me.
Who's on it? Me and
What's up,
Sean,
Chanel? How you
July
doing?
22nd, 2013.
Yeah. You can hear me
Read your
now
message. I wrote,
because
please
I'm on
delete
the
the
side.
videos
I
off your
just came
phone.
back
Too
over
many
here.
people have
I'm
access
kind
to
of
your
trying to
devices.
simulcast going
He
back
said,
and forth. You know,
he
Lowe's on
said,
mine.
no iCloud, all
And
good,
if I play
ambient
both
kicking in.
sounds, it's y'all gonna hear a big echo. That's why I'm not.
That's what he said. That's what he responded when she tried to get the videos taken off.
That's why I
Ambient
muted
is
whenever
kicking
I go
in,
back over there.
which that's another drug. That's a whole nother one right there. So far we
What's
named
the
10
difference
different
between
drugs.
coercion and persuasion? I guess coercion
These
is
motherfuckers were
like
wilding, bro. They
forced.
was taking any and everything.
Persuasion is almost like
Judge has
you're not
taken a break to
forcing them, but you
change
just
some
keep,
things in the courtroom. Okay,
you know,
whatever.
well, you
There's
know,
some
if you
issues with
do
the privacy
this, it's
screens. Okay,
worth
welcome back.
this
Okay,
amount of
all
money,
right.
and you know,
All right,
I
prosecutor asked,
need
what did
you
you
back.
say here?
Okay, I can
Cassie
give you
said, I'd
I can
been
give you
told there was a
5,000. I can give
sexually
you
explicit
6,000.
video out there
I can give you
about me.
7,000.
I reached out
You
to
know, like
Sean.
that's persuasion.
Then what?
I think coercion
We were driving back to New York City from Atlantic
means beat
City to
up. I think
talk
that's why they
to
keep
this
bringing up the point of
DJ Who
him being
Kid.
physical with her.
All right.
Like he's coercing her. That's part of coercion. Like
Did that
forcing
happen?
somebody.
Yeah, at a
If you don't
restaurant.
do it,
What was
when you get
security's role?
home,
Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah.
I'm gonna beat your
Like
motherfucking ass. You
okay, there we
know.
go. To intimidate. They were lining the room. Who was
But let's
there?
look up the definition.
Uncle Paulie,
Look it up.
James Cruz. How would you
Since you
recover
asked.
from a freak off? I'll take opiates. I wanted to feel numb. We'd get massages, IV fluids. The chef would cook us something.
It
The
says
prosecutor asked, how often
persuasion
did you take
is
opiates
the
after
act of
freak offs?
influencing someone through
Often? I got
arguments,
urinary
logic,
tract
or appealing
infections.
to their emotions
Were the
to voluntarily
UTIs or
change their
urinary tract
mind or
infections
behavior.
painful? Prosecutor
Coercion.
asked.
That's hard
Very.
for me. I'm so country.
Antibacterials didn't work anymore. Prosecutors,
Coercion.
how did it feel doing freak offs?
Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm in the
And then
South. We say coach. We don't say
Cassie
coach.
said,
We say
burning.
coach.
I would not advise
But
it.
coercion, on the
Duh.
other hand, involves forcing
Fucking
someone
around with a UTI
into
tract
doing
infection?
something against their
Duh.
will
I know it
through the
did
use of
burn.
force or threats. Yeah. So
And
just
I
like
want to
I
ask
said,
too, so when the antibacterials don't work anymore, do they go away on its own or
oh, you couldn't hear me
does
on
she
the
still
other one
have it?
either? Well, probably because
Probably
I
got to get a
wasn't talking
stronger
for a minute. I was
antibiotic
just
if
listening
the
to
the
Lowski. Can
original
you
one
hear
wasn't
when
working.
you go over
But it
there?
depends on
Can you
what
hear Los though?
UTI she got. I mean, a urinary tract
If you're
infection,
listening to
sure.
Lowski,
A
the
sexually
feed that
transmitted
I'm playing over
infection,
here,
sure.
because
But
I got it on my page.
was she in chlamydia,
Can you hear it then?
gonorrhea?
Because
You
if
know what
you
I'm
can hear him
saying?
over
Like,
there, then
what
you
else
should
was
be able
she
to hear me
getting
whenever
other
I
than the
unmute.
STI or
Sometimes I'm
UTI?
just sitting there quiet.
If the antibiotics wasn't working
Yeah, so
anymore,
let me know.
because a STI is not, trichomonas is not that
Because, yeah, like I
serious.
said,
You
I'm
know what I'm
going
saying?
back and forth, back and
Untreated,
forth.
yes, can cause you to have fertility problems, but clearly she didn't get that because she has kids. But
So I'm
what
about to
was
go
that
back over there right
serious or
now. So if
severe
y'all
to
want to
where
hear me, you may have to click on his feed.
antibiotics wasn't working anymore?
But it should play.
That's the
Is it
question.
not playing?
Like, what did she contract?
Well, let
So
me
it would have
unmute
to
it.
automatically would it automatically upgrade to a chlamydia or gonorrhea? Is what I guess I'm asking, is a UTI urinary
Can y'all
tract
hear him
infection, is
now?
that like a baby chlamydia gonorrhea?
Well, urinary tract infection is basically she got some type of infection in her uh the
Can
area
you
where
hear that? Can you
the
hear that?
urination come from. That's why it's called a UTI.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
not
doesn't
speaking.
seem.
It's
I
But the
said
UTI could
I
come
can
from
hear, but I hear
that
the
can come
other
from
person as
oral
well. Y'all are
sex.
both
If
are
somebody's
talking over each other.
licking
Huh.
around that area where you urinate from, you know
Which
what I'm
one was you
saying?
listening
Like,
to? Was you
how
listening to
else would you get a
mine or
UTI?
his?
You know what I'm saying? But a STI, now that's different. That's something being stuck in you, or again, saliva. So it's just like it could come from yes, it can come from multiple partners. And untreated, you know what I'm saying? It's not that she was getting
Yeah, you hear
untreated, it's
both.
the
I'm
persons
on
were
X.
not clean. Their mouth
And
wasn't
me and
clean,
Lowski on
their bodily
X.
fluids wasn't clean, and doing all these drugs and stuff can definitely lower
Hmm.
your immune system.
Well, I got them
It's a
muted
lot
right
of
now.
factors to this shit.
I got his on mine's
But
one.
does
If
it
you
go away on its
watching
own?
this on X
So
for
you
me,
said they would have had to get strong
I
antibiotics, but
got
she said the
Lowski's
antibiotics
side
ain't working
muted.
anymore.
Now I can unmute
But
it,
that's what I'm saying.
and you should be able to
What
hear
was
it.
the
Like I'm
antibody
finna
and
unmute it
why can
right
you say
now.
antibiotics? Antibiotics used.
Yeah.
Right, it's not like I was saying that, but like what does she have to where it's not working anymore? Because a UTI, you get the same antibiotics. Or they tell
Now
you
can
drink
you
some
hear that?
cranberry juice. You know what I'm saying?
Could you hear that?
A
But
I
she
just
has some
muted it
STI,
back.
special. She had some extra shit. Then I was like some
she had
special.
to. Because trichomonas,
You
like
know
I
what?
worked in the healthcare field, trichomonas, they'll give you something like this cream that you have to literally inject into your vagina.
I know what it is.
That's the antibiotics. You
I know what
necessarily
it
don't have
is.
to
I'm
take
gonna
a
have to
pill,
switch the.
but did she connect where the antibiotics was not working anymore? It probably was a different level, or
I'm gonna
probably
have to
was
switch the
chlamydia.
feed.
She probably
I'm gonna
got
have to switch.
chlamydia.
I know what I gotta do.
Wow,
I know what I gotta do.
it's crazy. So sad. All right, so let's continue. I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another
I'm finna make
UTI.
it where you can hear it. I'm
Uh,
just gonna close my
okay, so
camera
no.
down.
She's reading text messages from
Cause it was
between her
both.
and P Diddy Combs. All right. She said, I have all these sores in my tongue. I have another UTI. And then the
Mm-mm,
prosecutor asked, what sores was she talking about? Friction in my mouth. From what? And then the
mm-mm.
prosecutor asked, what sores was she talking about? Friction in my mouth. From what? And she said, oral sex.
Wow,
Oral sex. So she sucked dick so much she got sores.
wow.
Friction sores. Um and then the prosecutor asked, you said another UTI? Then sad face emoji. That's what she said in the text messages. I was open with him about them. Prosecutor asked, so you feel sick? Why are you sorry? I took the blame for things. Prosecutor asked, which escort would go to sex clubs with you and Sean? And then prosecutor said, Jules, the escort from the Intercontinental in Los Angeles. Did you want him to have sex with Jules ever? No, but I knew him. But I knew him. Why did you do it, Sean? Who was present when Sean put his hands on you at freakouts? Sometimes the escorts was there too, in the same room.
It's going now I
Yes,
can't because now I
Jules,
can't
and
talk.
in the suite. Yes, she said.
Now I can't talk
Were they
on the
aware?
other side.
Objection. Judge overruled it. Then so she answered yes. The escorts would ask me if I was okay afterwards. And what cities did he put hands on you? New York, Los Angeles, Miami. How frequently? Too frequently. What's the Abbey? The prosecutor asked. A gay club in Los Angeles. I went there with my friend. Where were you
This
going?
is gonna
To a
be.
music festival in Canada run by
This
Drake.
is kind of tricky now.
Sean came to my home and tried to attack me. I was
Uh,
thrown into the bed frame. So this was in case you guys don't know, Drake and Diddy had got into it. This was around the same time that this happened. I guess Diddy didn't like the fact that she was going out there to see him, and it was also rumors, it was talks that Drake was going to sign Cassie.
I know. I know.
He was looking to sign Cassie.
Damn.
Yeah, around this time.
Let me think.
I was thrown into the
Now I'm
bed frame.
confused. Oh.
A prosecutor asked, "What is this?" Holding up a photo of it was a photo of her eye. Afterwards, she said, "Yes," and I wrote, "So you can remember, I wanted him to be sorry about it at least." And this
Can you
photo,
hear that?
where were you? In the green room in Toronto. I put my hair over my eye. Then we went to the Hamptons. Okay. This is Cassie right here. Sean, of course. We got a hotel and an escort.
What's up?
Which one? The prosecutor asked. Dave, I took GHB.
Can y'all hear
I
that?
went into a G hole and blacked out. I
What's up,
woke up
Machiavelli?
nude in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty. All right, prosecutor. Then what? Prosecutor asked. I spoke to a friend of Sean's, and then we had a freak off. It seems like that's always like the
I
answer
changed
when
his
they, you know what I'm
volume,
saying?
but I
When it's
can't hear
out,
it. Can
whenever
y'all
it's
hear
an
the
issue,
volume
we had a freak
change?
off.
Or am I still low?
Ooh, what's this? Prosecutor,
Let me
asked.
try something else.
My eyebrow healed up a little bit. A week later, I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow now. Prosecutor, what's this? Me at the Canes Festival. What happened at Canes? Sean accused me of taking
What
drugs
about
from
now?
his boat. He threw me off. But my passport was still on the
Okay.
boat. And you were on the red carpet that same night? Yeah, this some crackhead shit. Stealing drugs and
Okay.
fucking and all this. See, it sounds like some Bobby and Whitney shit. It sounds like
Yeah, you got all these
we getting
aliases.
drunk and high and drugs and all that shit.
From what we know about celebrities, it seems like this is how all these niggas live.
Right. Just going around acting crazy and making scenes and shit in front of people. You gotta hide the tape now. You're getting big drunk brawls in public and lashing out and freak offs. I mean, it seemed like this is the Hollywood couple. All right. And you were on the red carpet. Meanwhile, us regular
Yeah, I
Americans
turned
out
him
here
down. Is
working
he too
40 to
low?
50 hours
Is
a
he too
week,
low now? Do I need
trying
to
to
turn
put
him up?
food on the table. How about that? Oh, what happened
I'm
to
gonna turn
Daniel?
it up a
Daniel
little
Dip?
bit. Tell me if
That
that's
nigga
better
said,
right there.
he said one sentence and dipped. All right. Let's get back to it. Hopefully he comes back. Oh, we're still on the boat. Did you attend a movie? Okay. And you were on the red carpet that same night. She was on the red carpet that same night she got thrown off that boat. Yes. Did you attend a movie? Yes.
Depends on if you want
How
to
did you
talk
get
over
back to
him or
New
not.
York?
Yeah.
On a commercial
But am
flight.
I? Is
This
the
is important right
sound
here, y'all.
balance as
Now listen.
you know?
On a
Because
important
I'm gonna
flight,
mute myself.
I
If I
traded
mute
my seat
myself
to
over
get
here, I
away,
can talk to him.
but he traded to
He
get next
should
to
come
me.
through still.
What did he show you? Freak off videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he'll release them. So this dude sat by her on the plane just to
Okay,
show
cool.
her on the laptop, the freak off videos. How did you feel? She said trapped.
All right, cool.
She was coached to say that. I know she was. That right there, too intentional, trapped. When you landed in New York, what did you do? We went to a dinner. Then he wanted to have a freak off.
Okay.
Of course.
It's kind of
So
hard
we
the
had
way
a
I gotta
freak off.
control the sense.
Why did you do it?
Very
To make
weird.
him not threaten me. Let's read these from June 13, 2013. And had Sean been violent with you before this? She responded, yes. Had you told him before you didn't want to do freak offs?
Yeah. If
Yes.
I could do the
You
EQ,
said you needed GHB? She
'cause
said
that's what
yes,
I went
and
to
that
school for. But
2 escorts not available.
it's not enough controls.
And
If
that
it was more
the 2
controls
escorts, I
on
guess,
my
that he
end,
wanted was not available at the time.
maybe I could do
I
it better.
wrote only Paul available or Jake the white guy, but he can't do until 11. The other guy can do earlier.
I'm on his stream,
It's just one
Machiavelli.
more person knowing our secret. What did you mean? The freak offs, she said. What is the prosecutor asked her, what is SLS? It's a hotel in Hollywood. Okay, I guess they still referring to the text messages. They're still referring to the messages. Okay. So Diddy would rent out men for fucking cat. I'm reading comments right now, yo. Appreciate it. Everybody keep sending in your comments. Okay. We got almost 200 people. Almost 200 people watching. Um. Oh wow. So Diddy would rent out men for fucking Cassie. Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
But why are they keep trying to use the word freak off versus just saying, "Oh yeah, we got into an argument, we had sex"? Why are they trying to paint the narrative that every time they had sexual encounters, it was a freak off, meaning like they was doing some freaky shit outside of consensual sex?
I guess in her mind, the freak. I don't think they ever just had like. Did they ever have like regular sex? Just them two. That was routine. She said 4 to 5 times a week. So that means, you land in the city. Okay, we know we gotta, have the freak offs, and then we gotta have all that set up, and like it was like a routine. It was like like they was prepared for it already. When you touch down, you leave the airport, go to the hotel, the freak offs. You know.
I mean, I don't think you got that far into the transcripts, or if it was ever talked about. But I would love to know how much Diddy was paying Cassie monthly.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I don't think go into that. We will see. I want to know how much they was paying Cassie. I would like to know how much the escorts was getting paid.
Over $50,000, because Miami
Think
young
so?
getting 500,000 a month.
All right. Well, I want to say less than 10,000.
Nah, that
So NDA covers everything leading up till that point. Okay. If there's another offense after that, then that's not going to be inside. That's not going to be included. So you sign a gag order for everything, all events leading up until that day that you signed it. All right. So if a crime is committed, period, that voids any NDA non-disclosure. So if it's alleged that a crime is committed, then all NDAs are thrown out anyway. So that's all they had to do. That's how they got Bill Cosby.
may I say something? I don't want to jump too far into the whole thing because I know you're still reading the transcripts,
No,
but
go ahead.
I really don't feel bad for Cassie. I don't. She signed the NDA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She agreed to do everything he wanted her to do, and she even took the $30 million when because I remember she was already with her new lover, her baby father, her husband, and out of nowhere she wanted to sue Diddy, and he gave her 30 million. So you took
Okay,
hush money.
my bad.
Which she probably not gonna get because all his assets, everything is in his mother
I
name.
had to leave my mic.
They probably didn't figure that out.
I just had to leave this one open. That's what I had to do.
Yeah, that's why I
Can
really
y'all hear
can't
them?
say, "Oh
Yeah,
my
you
God,
yeah
I
you
feel
can
so
hear them.
sorry
Okay,
for
I
her."
just leave this one
Oh
open.
gosh, she got peed on. I can't. I feel sorry for her.
I won't
Listen,
mute it.
she's not
I
telling the
just
full
can't mute it over
truth, and
here.
that's
So y'all
she
will be able
wasn't
to hear it.
catching UTIs. She was really catching some STDs, and she just don't want to admit to that because that's probably in the NDA contract. So she have to say UTIs to make it seem like, okay, with all the sex that I was getting, I was catching things. But what were you catching? What did you catch, Cassie?
What did you catch, Cassie? We want to know. Let's get back to it. Yeah, okay. I wrote only available. Or read that with the SLS. And then the prosecutor asks, "When will you take Valium before a freak off?" When I had anxiety, Sean's driver was bringing me the Valium. It was Raheem, I think. Damn, she telling on everybody. The jurors, you can take lunch now. Okay, so they went on lunch. Are there still disagreements on the exhibit? Yes. Defense. We just heard this morning about videos on his device.
Okay, so this defense wants the exhibit to be longer and about masturbation. To be longer and about masturbation. They wanted to cut it off at looking at my iPad. Would have taken this to her grave. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. When has been? Well, okay, all right. So this is a whole bunch of court jargon. Uh, Counsel to Jane Doe says, "Okay, I'm worried. This is Jane Doe. All right, jury. All right, so the jury is entered back in the courtroom. The jury to be seated. They decided to call Jane Doe Mia.
I
Yes,
bet
they want
Diddy's taxes look crazy.
a human-like name. All right, when did Sean first hurt you physically? Back talking to Cassie. It started in the first year. What staffer were present when Sean was physically with you? Defense objection. Physical is vague. All right, so the prosecutor said punching, hitting. All right. When did Sean first use? So I guess they could have been talking about sex when it was physical. Could be talking about anything. Uh, when did Sean first use violence on you? In New York City, she said. We were in a car with his security, and he knocked around. I think the security guard has spoke about this on like a radio station a couple times, saying that I think he said that she hit him first though. Yeah, he hit him first, and he was like, he said he was super proud of her for standing up for herself or some shit. Yeah, I seen a little interview. Uh, I fell to the floor of his Escalade. In January 2009, did you attend an event in LA with Sean? Yes. All right. So how old was she in 2009?
Let me
How
see.
old? Yeah, check for me right fast. How old was Cassie in 2009? Because I'm tripping over here with.
Damn, I was 17 going on 18.
She had to be about 21, 22.
Okay, all right. All right, what happened as you left? I'd been speaking to the producer about music. Sean called me a slut. I hit him in the face. I had been drinking. Did you see any injuries? She said no. Cassie said, I was on the floor of the car and he stumped on my face. So it looked like the first punch period out of the two of them was taken by him. Was done by her. The first assault.
I didn't mean to do that.
See, I mean, that right there, that's crazy. You know, try to run away. What did they tell me? What did they tell me? To get to a hotel. Okay. Told her to get to a hotel. I'm still going. This is Cassie. They snuck me into a hotel covered up so no one could see my face. How long were you at the London hotel? A week, a little more. An assistant brought me ice cream. What was the assistant's name? Genevieve. Did you feel you could leave the London hotel? She said, no, I understood his capability, his access to guns, threats he made. When you were taken to the hotel after the assault, she said no. Okay, that must be a typo. Did you know that the assault incident was reported? I know there was a blind item on the internet without our names. Who raised the blind item to you? My mother. Defense objection. Not for the truth. Overruled. What's a blind item? Do y'all know what that is?
I don't know. I can look it up real quick.
I'll
Yeah,
look it up. Look it up.
technology for me.
A blind item.
It says it is a piece of news or gossip that describes a situation or event without revealing the names or identities of the individuals involved.
Okay, I never heard that phrase before. A blind item. All right.
So
items on Twitter, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
yeah, no names, no names. So I mean, what kind of new- breaking news is that? People had a fight somewhere, but nobody. We're not going to say the names. All right. This was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me. What did you say? No, I did not want my mother to know something of that magnitude and be in danger. I think she kind of overdoing it with that. You really think Diddy is going at the folks' moms and shit? Did he come to the hotel where you were staying? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, there's other allegations revolving around Diddy and Tupac and Biggie and other people. So she probably heard something and was a little, frightened or terrified or assumed something could happen to her.
Right.
We just don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. What? No, I didn't want to. When you went to a party with your girlfriends, what happened? I saw executives from BET. Then I heard that Sean was there. What did you do? I left. I ran out as fast as I could. Why? I thought he was angry. Did he come to the hotel where you were staying? Yes. He beat me up and called me names. My face was bruised. This photo, who is it? Scott Mascuddy, which is Kid Cudi, known as Kid Cudi. We dated in 2011, Casey said. Did Sean find out? Yes, in my phone. Sean went through my phone during a freak off.
Hey, that's what
he found emails. No,
I hate to cut you. I had heard you a minute
you
ago. I
good?
was away from my computer, but yeah, I think the dude is capable of that. Because you finna read the part about Kid Cudi. Did you hear about the
Mhm.
incident with him and Suge Knight?
Yeah, we read through that part too. That
Okay.
was the first day, and she said one time they picked up guns and left the house and then
hmm
came back, and she don't know where they went.
It was another incident even with Kim Porter where he thought it was a guy of her house, and he took the bodyguard over there and was like banging on the windows, trying to climb through windows. He was there for hours, so long that the bodyguard was like, "Man, we need to get out of here before the police come." The bodyguard had to make him leave, bro. So I think he kind of crazy. I think he capable of a lot of this shit that they saying.
Man, that's crazy, dog. Yeah, yeah,
Rob,
man.
ask you a question.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of a product called Astro Slip?
Astroglide?
Ast-
Astro Glide.
Astroglide.
Nah, I hadn't heard about it until then. What is Astroglide? Was they using it for
So
sex?
it's like a super like technology what's the damn
Advanced
it's
Technological.
it's
Damn, you got me
it's
fucked up.
No, it's advanced technology.
it's super advanced lubricant that they
Okay.
use it now. It's like it's some new technology, and it's supposed to be the finest in the industry according to them when it comes to lubricant. So yeah, so in the she's they that was in the scripts that they had Astroglide, and we was trying to figure it out. We looked it up. Wasn't one of them escorts a bisexual white man? I'm pretty sure all of them were bisexual. They was all gay for
hmm
pay.
Diddy boss.
I think, yeah, he might be gay. His damn self. I mean,
Y'all think?
I think he is. Yeah, I'm about to say. I think
He,
it's confirmed at this point.
how many
Yeah.
more are they still on trial? Like, how many more days of the trial or of this? Do you know?
It usually don't last that long. These federal trials at the most 2 weeks. I
2 weeks.
mean,
Are we in week one of this? What is this?
yeah, just week one.
Because I just want to know, like, in the sex tapes or any other evidence that they may have found, are there any politicians, senators, mayors involved in these sexual allegations?
I don't think that's ever gonna get out. They do a pretty good job of just keeping it limited to in the black people. They don't let it get outside of that. You know what I'm saying? That
You
never.
don't you don't think other names or hints of other people may come out in this?
That's another thing. Out of all these situations, all these Me Too movement, all this shit that black people been involved with, because I know all these black people, they love hanging around white people. That's all they do. Is hang around
Mm-hmm.
white people. No white people never come up though. Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
crazy?
Mm-hmm. And it ain't a coincidence either.
Exactly. They never come up, man. All them white people love hanging around Diddy, love hanging around them. They never. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
And these are the people who introduce them to a lot of this shit. So how do they never come up?
Well,
yeah.
if you look at it, Harvey Weinstein is not in jail and Bill Cosby's in jail.
Right.
Or Weinstein is in jail.
I heard he was getting out, or he
I heard
was
he was
out.
getting out. Yeah, I heard he
Yeah.
was
He
getting
had one of his charges, I believe, got dropped, but he still ain't getting out no time soon.
out. Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I heard what she heard then. Maybe I got it wrong. My bad.
But point taken still. I get it. Where you stand? He beat me up. Okay, read that part. Okay, Sean went through my phone during a freak off. He found an email.
See, I wonder
About
how
what?
Cassie remembers all these
Prosecutor asked.
incidents
Taking my toiletry bag
well
to
enough because she
Scott's the
claims
next
she was
day.
heavily
What's a
drugged
toiletry
up.
bag, bro?
That's where
It's
you
a
got
little,
like your toothpaste and deodorant, shit like that.
Oh, okay.
little luggage bag. You know that little bag that come in your new
Yeah.
suitcase.
Okay, taking my toiletry bag to Scott's the next day. Sean put a wine opener in his hand and threatened me. I called Scott, who is Kid Cudi, on a burner phone. Where did you go? To Scott's house. Then I talked with Capricorn Clark, one of Sean's assistants. Then what? I went to the house Sean was staying at. He told me he would release videos and hurt Scott and I. What videos? Freak off videos of me.
She said it's an anal
Sean
monster.
kicked. See, that's the coercion part. If you're using that stuff to try to control people, that's how you get yourself in a lot of trouble. Because
What's up, Earth Angel?
releasing that's revenge porn.
It's
So what
used
video?
for
Freak off
anal
videos of
mostly.
me. Sean kicked me in the back. I got a bruise. Where do you go? To my
Astroglide.
hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and didn't flush it. It was gross. This was just before Christmas. Who did that? Did P. Diddy pay somebody to do that to a hotel room? Or did he do it himself? That's crazy, man.
Good question.
That's a lot of energy. Be up in that shitting and pissing and all that shit. I sent an email to my mom and Capricorn from my flight to Boston and Connecticut. What did you write? That Sean said he would release the tape of me on Christmas, and he'd had Scott and I. He said he would be out of the country. He would be out of the country then. Okay, so he had a plan that he was gonna flee, that he was gonna leave. And then prosecutor asked, "What are these photographs?" My mother took there in Connecticut of the bruises on my back. Were you entirely honest with your mother about the abuse? No, I said this was the first time. Did you tell her about freak offs? No. All right. So they went off for a break. Is it possible to take a break? Yeah. So she asked to take a break. They came back at 3:09 p.m. today. An hour more. So the goal is to finish a direct and allow a start cross examination. So cross examination, you guys don't know, that's when the defense is gonna. So if somebody who's not on the same side interview that individual, which is a witness brought by the prosecutor. So that makes it a cross examination. Right now, what's going on is a direct examination. Direct. All right. So they're saying that it's going to be cross examination next. Jury attended. They didn't want to come to see you in Connecticut. They didn't want to come and see you in Connecticut. Scott did for a few days. I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous. Objection. Overruled. Sean said he would hurt both of us. Where did you go after Connecticut? I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona. His son, college. I told my mother I was going to LA for work. Did Sean talk about Scott's car? Prosecutor. So the prosecutor is the first person to bring up the car, right? Um, uh, Cassie said Sean
Okay.
said he wanted Scott's friends to see Scott's car blown up. So Sean said he wanted Scott's friends to see Scott's car blown up. What happened next? We met Sean, Scott, and me. So Diddy and Kid Cudi and her, they met. Scott said, "What about my vehicle?" And Sean said, "What vehicle?" And that was the end of the meeting. All right. And the prosecutor said, "Put up the photo. What is this?" She said, "Me and Sean in Kingston, Jamaica, sound clash. Were you bruised?" Yes. And this photo, what is this? Can't see a sound clash. Is it sound clash or soundtrack? Sound clash. Okay. So this is it right here. It's always gotta be. Okay. Do y'all see anything? Oh, I see it.
see
It's right
something down
there.
there.
Yep. Oh, let me. Damn. What the hell? All right. Let me
You talking
go
about
back here.
it's Cassie down there on the bottom of your screen? What you talking about?
Yeah, I gotta make it bigger. All right. Yeah, I see some. Yeah, I see some around the top eye part. Back up in this area.
Yeah, it do look a little dark right there.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Where is this at? Sound Clash? What is that?
Sound Clash. And it was a event in Kingston, Jamaica. Sound Clash.
Okay.
Yeah, Sound Clash. All right. So were you bruised? Yes. And this photo, what is it? Me in Sean's bathroom, September the 18th, 2018.
Say,
What were
bro,
you
you need
doing
to
there?
find somewhere else to go, man. Let that shit
Recuperating
go.
from being
You
beaten up
still
by
talking
Sean
about
in
that
Las
shit, bro.
Vegas.
You a grown ass man.
We were having an
I ain't
after
gonna go
party
back
in
and
our
forth with you
suite.
on my
I talked to a producer and Sean tapped me on the
live right
shoulder,
here. I'm over
called
here
me into
doing
our
something.
room and
You
beat
wanna
me.
play, bro? Go
Kicked me
somewhere
as
else.
I tried to
If
hide
not, bro, I'm
behind
just
the
gonna kick
toilet.
you off here. Cause I
What
ain't,
stopped it?
you know what I'm saying?
D-Rock and
I ain't
James
gonna
Cruz
keep
came
fooling
in.
with you, nigga. You
It
obsessed.
made D-Rock
You
sad.
got an
What
issue.
are these
You got a character flaw
communications?
you need to take care
From
of, my nigga.
D-Rock to me, he says,
So you know what? I'm
"Where
gonna
you
go ahead
at?
and do you a
It's
favor.
time to ice your
I'm
face."
gonna go ahead and remove you.
Prosecutor said,
I'm
"Why?
gonna remove
I
you
had just been
permanently.
beaten by Sean."
Just so you ain't
Were
gotta
these
fool
all
with
the
me.
times
I
he
ain't gotta
beat
fool
you?
with you.
She said,
Cause
"No,
I ain't gonna
there were
listen to this
more.
shit every
With
time you come
with
around.
who else did you see Sean be violent?" I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Eli in the head. One time in Turks and
I didn't mean to
Quesos,
delete your
he
comment,
dragged the person.
Charles.
This nigga's crazy.
Don't do that,
This
nigga.
nigga's crazy, yo. Yo, man. One time you ever seen that movie P. Diddy was in that time, and it was
Okay, so we ain't gotta see no more.
somebody just takes that movie, and he was like a crazy person in it. You know what movie I'm talking about?
I ain't gonna listen to
Him
this nigga.
to London or some shit like that.
Yeah. And you know what? I think he did. He played that part too well. And I said that then. I'm like, I bet he liked that for real.
When he was like, "It's big as loser time. It's daddy's favorite." You talking about that movie?
When he was running down the street and he was chasing everybody.
Yeah, it's the movie with
With
what's the
that
that guy
with that
named who
British
lost
guy.
the weight?
Who y'all talking about? My bad. I was doing something.
The movie Diddy played in that time. He played himself.
You talking about where he
And
said I go in the jungle and with a gorilla or some
yeah,
shit?
Yeah,
he ran down, she chasing everybody acting crazy.
Yeah,
it's the movie where the white guy was the talent agent or manager to the
I can find it.
British musician. Diddy played himself. They talked about Jeffrey and he was rubbing the fur wall and they was on some type of drug where they was rubbing the wall and it had like fur on the wall.
I think he was behaving like himself. But anyway,
Oh,
that was a funny ass movie though, huh?
get him to Greek.
Get him to
Yeah,
Greek. That's
yeah,
what it's
yeah.
called. That was called. I'm gonna have to watch that again. I wonder if they still got it available on streaming.
It's probably on Tubi.
Right. Let me see. Uh, hold on. Again.
Nah, he genuinely played himself. Like, I mean, you saw how he portrayed the Joker. Fucking
You want me to play it? I got a little piece of the
I
clip.
was just about to play it.
Go
I was
ahead.
just
Go
about
ahead.
It's on Netflix though. Hold on. It's on Netflix though. Okay.
I'll be watching tonight.
Let's play this shit. This shit funny.
That's what I found. Go ahead.
In our revenue stream. We gotta thicken our fucking stream. We gotta thicken the fuck out of that stream right now. Shit is serious out here. The music business is ailing. The bubble done pop.
You know the white boys call
Whose phone is that?
real life.
It's my phone, man.
That's your phone?
It's mine, yeah.
Answer it.
Definitely. What's up, bro? Yeah. No, I can't talk right now. He forced me to answer in the middle of this meeting in order to humiliate me. Yeah, he's actually staring at me. He's really pissed right now. Swear to God, I'm not joking, man. Yeah, 6:30. I gotta go right now, though, bye. I apologize about that.
Throw that phone out of my office.
Don't make me do that.
Throw the phone out of my office. Throw that fucking phone out of my office.
Right on.
Oh, y'all think this meeting is for me? No, this meeting is not for me. It's for y'all. See, I'm gonna be all right. I'm straight. I got villas in Brazil, Tahiti, East Hampton, West Hampton. Sergio gonna be fine. Fuck a recession. I own 20 kookaroos.
21, sir.
I own 21 kookaroos. Y'all don't own one kookaroo. Not one. Not one. Y'all are fucked.
You all are fucked.
He's not wrong. Everyone loves chicken. I'm doing fine. Please, people, help me help you. Y'all need to come up with some brilliant ideas right now. Who's first?
I just discovered the next Alicia Keys. I swear to God above, I can vouch for her.
The next Alicia Keys.
Yep.
What was your last discovery?
Chocolate Daddy.
You think so, dog?
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Chocolate Daddy?
Yeah, Chocolate
sounding worse
motherfucking
and worse.
Daddy. He discovered Chocolate Daddy. How much did Chocolate Daddy sell?
15,000 units.
15,000 units.
Proud of every unit. I'm proud of those units.
I'm
telling you, this
Shut
girl
the
is.
fuck up.
This girl.
Don't talk.
She got a. Not gonna talk.
I shut the fuck up. 15,000 units. You made me vouch for Chocolate Daddy. 15,000 units. I got 6 fucking kids. You know how much money that is to put them through school? You know how many Air Jordan 6 black kids wear?
I'm sorry for my outburst. I'm having a panic attack right now.
Thanks for watching.
what the
Subscribe to
fuck
the
is a
Netflix Club channel to get our latest exclusive.
Okay.
Is that another name of a chicken? A kookarooch?
I don't know. Probably kookaroo. I don't know.
That's them
I gotta
birds,
watch
ain't it?
this movie as soon as I got this podcast because that shit was done too well.
Is it still on Netflix? I don't know, but yeah, it's weird watching it now.
We're watching that clip. It's like, damn, I kind of miss seeing Diddy on TV and shit for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, man, he was funny. Nice, funny guy, but
Oh, that's a
you
that's
know,
a restaurant.
Allegations,
he was,
yeah.
he was
Kookaroo,
a pretty cool
California
guy,
Kitchen.
you know, in between the freak offs. But
It's a Kookaroo, California Kitchen. It's some type of restaurant.
like, what do they sell? Chicken? Yeah, of
Let
course they sell chicken, but like what, chicken tenders or?
me see.
He probably really do own 21.
No, actually, he's the character he was playing. Was that he was
Yeah, I
playing a
think it's
character named
chicken
Sergio.
wings.
He wasn't playing himself. I said earlier he was playing himself, but he was playing a character named Sergio. I forgot. So it's supposed to be in like of his likeness, you know, somebody similar to him.
All right. So let me get back started with this. Beaten up by Sean. Okay, we're getting back. She just said that she had just got beaten up again and again and again and again. Were these all times beat? Nope, nope, nope. He dragged Circle. He dragged all of them. He beat all these other people. He was a crazy person. Blah blah blah. All right. I believe we had a freak off in Turks and Circles. What floor did you live on the 874 Cornstalk? The 17th floor. Did a friend stay with you? Yes. Sean came and held her and threw her on patio furniture out on the balcony. Wonder what for. Sean would put the pills in a Okay, wait a minute. I went ahead. Came in and held her and threw her on the patio furniture out on the balcony. I saw him bring her back in from over the balcony, then threw her on the patio furniture and carried. This nigga's a madman, dog.
I'm
This nigga's
telling you.
crazy. Man. This motherfucking a fucking psychopath on the loose, bro. This nigga's crazy. All right. Came in. Okay. I saw Sean bring her back in, bro. And Carrie Morgan. I saw Sean hit her in the head.
Make sure y'all hit
Who is
that
Carrie
like button.
Morgan?
Hit that
Is
like
she
button.
somewhere? I mean, name seemed familiar though. Like
That name do sound familiar. I think it was somebody that was part of his team. His team when he had making a band and shit like that.
Who you
Oh,
Carrie
say?
Morgan.
What was the name?
is that the choreographer?
Oh, it's a white woman.
Oh, it's a white woman. Oh.
Oh, a white lady. Account private.
Remember, he got into it with that lady who used to do the choreography. What was her name? The black lady. He fired her and brought her back. Fired her and brought her back.
Okay, here we go.
I think he like humiliating people because it's like, why was you firing her, but then to bring her back, then to fire her again?
Mm-hmm. Some people get a kick out
Yeah.
of that shit.
Yeah, power.
Yeah.
So
It's
on the
kind of like
right.
Trap. Watch the movie Trap. It's on Netflix.
Okay. On the right is Carrie Morgan. And 2022. So this last year, I followed Cassie back when she was Cassandra on Instagram. That was her name, Cassandra.
Yeah. Cassandra
Oh, okay.
Ventura.
And she would always be with this girl, Carrie Morgan, her best friend. Oh, so that was her best friend. But
Yeah.
so his.
That's what broke up their friendship was Diddy. Something happened, and I think that incident that you was just talking about. And they said because she was on the stand and said their friendship was never the same after that.
Yo, so this nigga was beating on white women too?
Man, he was going in on everybody.
He feel like he couldn't be stopped. Wow. Okay. So let's get back to it. So and Carrie Morgan, because they going through all the people that he didn't beat up. I saw Sean hit her in the head. Did you get drugs on your own? Occasional drug dealers, opiates, Xanax, Valium. God damn, that's another one.
Man,
Sean would put the pills in a vitamin C bottle on a
bro,
sink in New York apartment.
making a
He'd
band.
say, "You can take
That's
him."
when you knew
You
he was
can take
crazy. You like,
him.
oh yeah, he
He had
really is
doctors
crazy.
who would write the scripts in the name of an assistant or in my
Cause he
name.
was tripping on them niggas on that show.
Your brother's
Firing
birthday
people, bringing
party
them
in
back.
Connecticut in 2000. What happened?
Them
My
niggas would
mother
come back
told
like
me
8
someone
episodes
was
later on
taking
the next
pictures of
season. You
me.
like,
I went
damn.
and punched her in the head. You testified. You testified. You testified the relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health? I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. Objection overruled. What's this? A photo of my front door in 2018. Publish it to the jury. Why is there a knife there? Sean was coming around a lot, so I had it. Having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. Were you seeing anymore? My now husband. Okay. I'll say okay. Who were you seeing any?
There's so many damn typos on here. So I guess they were asking who was she involved with then? Her now husband. So she had moved on. What happened next? Sean came to my house and raped me on my living room floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you.
Who is
Huh.
this? Cassie? He did this too.
Yeah. Cassie had left in 2018, and they said that she was like walking around the house with like a knife in her hand because she was crazy. She said she had PTSD and she'd just walk around her house like with a knife. He wasn't even there. And but one day she did show up and raped
Wow.
her. Okay.
But
In
how
the
did he
middle,
get to her house?
and raped me on my living room. His eyes were black. It was you cried. What did Sean do? He continued and finished inside of me. Then he got up and left.
Wow.
You ever have sex with him again? Yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house. Can you explain why you did that after he raped you? We had been together 10 years. Who did you stay in touch with? Most people, though I pulled away. What did you message Sean about after that? Just checking in. What did he send you? That he had iPads full of images. Get him his money.
May I say something?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for her, just so for what you just read. He raped her on the floor in her apartment. How did he get into the apartment? You know what I'm saying?
He had
He
keys to
raped
all of the places that she stayed in.
after I thought she left him already and was doing her own thing with her.
Oh, well, I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
they were just left
So
him
you
there.
allowed him to, you invited him in. He raped you on the floor and his eyes was black. And then voluntarily a couple of days later you had
What does
sex
that
with him.
mean? What does that mean? The eyes is black. You mean like all like no white?
Kind of like a shark eye. When people say that, it's like they have no life in their eyes,
Yeah.
or it's just like they're
Oh,
hearing
okay,
something
like
like
dull
demonic,
eyes.
shit like that.
Okay, I got you.
But you had sex with him voluntarily. Why? Was it because you needed money? I think she's doing these voluntary acts sexually with him because she knows she can get money from it.
That's kind of what I was saying. I'm like,
That's why
after
I don't
so
feel sorry for her.
long, I mean, you spoke up, you haven't, you had plenty of opportunities to get away. What's keeping you there? And I think,
You
like you
know,
say, it's the money, the
you
fame.
know what? Yeah, it's the money, and she fucked up. She fucked up because after being in a whole marriage with your new husband and having kids, out of the blue, you blackmailed Diddy, and he gave you $30 million to keep your mouth shut, and now we're here. So if you wasn't being greedy because you thought he was an easy lick, like, oh well, I know how to get $30 million out of him, babe. Your husband helped you orchestrate this whole plan, and now y'all are here. But at the end of the day, you're still taking money from him. So are you really a victim? Because I don't know I don't know real rape victims or DV victims who back to the person who was doing harm to them for a payout.
Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted with that as well. But I mean, at the same time, like I do believe he had a little bit of power over her. But I'm like you. After so long, when do you pull yourself away from that? You hung around a little bit too long to really use that excuse. But I mean I get it. I
But
know
think
how
about
some
it
people
too.
who are victims they get locked into situations.
But Rod, think about this though. How addicted to drugs do y'all think she was at this point?
I
Like
think
she
she was
probably
pretty addicted.
she was a full on drug addict at this
Yeah,
point, probably.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. She was probably a full blooded damn.
If because they said, what did she say? She had to do these freak offs. What'd you say? 45 times a week. And she always had to be drugged up. So yeah, she was addicted to
Yeah,
that shit, bro.
she
But
doing
the
all these.
question is, did he introduce her to the drugs, or was she already doing drugs? A lot of people in LA do drugs.
I think
I
They
she
one
met.
said
one of my
he
coworkers.
introduced her to ecstasy the first time that they had sex. he
His
gave her some ecstasy.
Well, they met when she was 19, so I'm pretty sure a good deal. She was raised in this shit, so a good deal of the stuff she was introduced was from him. I wouldn't have bet. You know what I'm saying? If you was to ask me, you feel me? Because there's no way. I mean, bro, you can't know about that much stuff at 19. You just can't. I don't care how fast your life was. That
I
nigga.
mean, I definitely could say that he introduced her to people or around people who was doing things like that, but I don't think he forced her hand into doing it.
I hate using that G word. I hate using the G word, but man, it started to feel like she got groomed.
She.
It does.
That's
You
why I'm
can't.
saying it kind of in a way like after so long, like I say, she could have got away, but yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of in there. I'm
Can you
with you.
really groom a 21-year-old?
Yeah, I think
Is
you
it
can.
grooming after they're not a minor anymore?
Yeah, if you prior to them being, coming of age, I think you can kind of have their mind warped where they just feel like I think I'm doing the right thing, so maybe I should just keep
That's
doing this.
all she knew. Like, that's all she know is freak offs with Diddy. That's only at this point of her life. That's all she knows, bro. She don't know about anything else. Drugs and freak offs. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. I can't lie. It's kind of fucked up. But let's get back to it. I had to change around, change a little scenery. Okay. Okay. Nope. Move. All right, we're back. We're back. Matter of fact. Oh, all right. Oh. Had to change it. I had to switch it up a little bit, y'all. Switch it up.
Are you in your man cave?
Yeah. I'm a man cave now. This is daddy cave. All right. So let's get back to it. All right. Did you ever have sex with him again? Yeah. Can you explain why you did that 10 years? Who did you stay in touch with? Most people I pulled away. What did you miss, Sean? Just checking in. She was just checking in. She was looking for some drugs. I'm sorry to say it like that, but she had to be addicted, bro. She had to be dependent on this lifestyle. And so that he had iPads full of images, get him his money back. That's what I'm curious about. So, what did she owe him some money for having paid my now husband to be my trainer? Okay, so he felt
That
betrayed.
thing just say yep, and he tricked
He
her
wanted his money back
into it all
because
by
the trainer had
promising
took his
her a
girl.
good music career. Yep,
What did you write back? Do you
he
want me to
groomed
tell
her.
the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse,
He
more
led
than
her
freak
down that
offs.
path, and that's all she knew.
Down, get down, get down. Oh, damn
Uh,
dog.
hey, are you asking people to like the like the show?
Yeah,
She turned
yeah.
on him
Y'all
by
like
herself. She
and
basically
share
was
and
a
do all that
Like
good
and
stuff.
prostitute.
share
She
so we
was,
can get
bro.
the engagement up.
She was.
We got
She
228
was.
people. We supposed to have more than that.
But
So
like I
everybody,
say, I
like and
do
share,
feel like
like and share.
that when I
Put
said that
hard work
doesn't
and
absolve
dedication into
Diddy of
this.
anything, bro.
Money back
In
for
my
what?
mind,
Okay, I
the
pass
more and
on
more I'm
abuse. All right.
hearing what happened,
There was a time I couldn't
I don't
take the
absolve
pain.
Diddy of nothing.
Tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy. Did you write? And then Cassie said, a book with chapters. My mom helped. What did you want? What did you want with the book? That Sean read it. So she wanted P. Diddy to read her book. What pain did Sean put you through? Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that. What I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt terrible. How did you get chapters to Sean? Through my attorney, and I reached out to KK, which is her friend.
I asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously. How much did you ask for the book? How much did you ask for the book? She said 30 million. Did you? So first she needed $30 million for her book. So she wanted $30 million for her book.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
You see?
With the lawsuit, it settled for 20 million in 24 hours. Why are you testifying in this trial? The prosecutor asked. I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong? What's wrong is wrong. I tried people like they were disposable. I guess they meant treated people like they were disposable. Escorts, anybody. How many freak-offs did you have with Sean? Impossible to know. Hundreds. After you broke up with Sean, did you ever do a freak-off? No. No further questions. Jury out, judge. Judge, why don't we put off the cross until tomorrow? We'd like to start now. To be sure to finish. She will be finished by the end of the week, so no cross today. We'll just make up the time in other ways. Get the jury. The witness can be excused. Yes. Jury entering. Judge Spranian. I looked up the judge background. He's an Indian. He did a lot of fraud cases, criminal fraud cases, and Indian guy. You know, come here. Since you want to be famous so bad, you want to be all in the camera. I'm a little shit zoo. This is Alex.
Alex.
It's bad as hell. Now get down. All right, cool. You got what you wanted. All right, so you guys, I guess that's gonna be it. We believe we had agreed on. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we believe we had agreed that other sexual acts by the witness were not admissible, but we understand they intend to cross-examine her about her relationships with texts about sex, about Miss Venture fucking someone else. Why is that necessary? So I guess they just the jury had left. Okay, have a great evening. All rise. Okay, jury's in. I don't want to read these into the record, so I'll hand copies up. These are messages of jealousy in the vocabulary of "Are you fucking that person?" That's fair game. This is a real world way people express hurt. Okay, so they talking about what's going to be admissible in court tomorrow. We could do it in the robbing room. The would have to be present, so the courthouse can seal. All right, so that's going to have to be sealed. Victim one would like to be heard. I see his hand, Mr. Wigdor. We are entitled to notice. Okay. All right. All right. Cool beans, man. So that's it. I went through the 2 days of Cassie's testimony. Um, there was also the police officer. I don't think y'all really care about that. So y'all thoughts? Anything?
Man, I feel like she does have a little bit of complicity in this. I don't totally agree that, you know, me absolving Diddy anything. I feel like he was definitely coercing her. He was trafficking her. I believe he was doing that, bro. So, I'm not gonna give him a pass on that. But I ain't giving her a pass either. So there's that.
Yeah, I agree with Rod. She's not 100% a victim in this. And I think the way Diddy did it, I think it was all set up because she tried to, well, hearing what you just read about her, she needed 30 million for a book deal or to publish her book. But it's like, why are you coming to him after you already had 2 kids with your husband, asking for 30 million, but also trying to block him in a sense because like through Shade Room and Tasha K, she tried to blackmail him and try to expose him, and that's when he gave her the $30 million. So again, she's not a 100% a victim. She know that if she do or act a certain way, she can get money, or she exposed to certain things, she can get money. So at the end of the day, uh she wants to be compensated for what she went through. um Again, I just don't I'm just not 100% on her side. She been with him for 10 years knowing he was with Kim Porter. She allowed him to have sex with her, with men and with other women, and probably motherfucking people in animal costumes because they seemed like they had that type of fetish. um she's 100, to me she's not a complete victim here. And I think she's definitely trying to get sympathy points, being in court. I know she's pregnant right now. So she's definitely trying to use her feminine energy to get sympathy points, but I'm buying it. I'm not. I can't really fully say that I'm on her side, but
Yeah,
I'm
but
not trying to make it seem like Diddy's not a monster. He's just a sexual deviant at this point. But she stayed. She didn't have to stay. There's many ways she could have got away from Diddy, but she didn't want to, because if she get away from Diddy, she get away from the money. And I'll end there.
Yeah,
I think
can I throw this in before you go? Because I'm gonna let you, because it's your show. Let
no,
Diddy
man, no,
last.
no, no. You do
But
your thing, bro.
I got a comment over here on my side from Earth Angel. She said once she realized that he manipulated her, she set out to take him down. A woman scorned, and I agree with that. But that's all. I just wanted to, throw that in there.
I think we're looking at basically, man, both two victims of that Hollywood system, that Hollywood hustle, man. Falling victims to the circumstances, dog. Drugs, money, sex. It's easy to let that take over, man. Let that fester. So, she was a young, cute lady. You know what I'm saying? And he, being the person that he is, like shit, it just happened that way. Hopefully, she can, she can start her life over and be a functioning person. And I agree, man. I agree. I think Phoenix said this earlier. She definitely hiding something. It's something she's not telling us the whole story about something. All right, so it's too many gaps in the story. All right, you went from freakouts to
Mhm.
walking around paranoid with a knife in your hand. Why
Yeah.
is she leaving stuff out? She asked the prosecutor, "Do you really want me to go into it?" Yeah, we do. Say everything. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows if she talk about the wrong people, what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And she should reveal all the women she had sex with too. I know Janelle Monae is in there.
Oh,
I know
really?
a couple. I mean, I'm just speculating at this
Oh,
point.
okay.
Let me say allegedly, but Janelle Monae is definitely on the LGBTQIA side. You know what I'm saying? But tell Cassie, like, why? How come Cassie won't reveal the women she slept with too? I'm pretty sure she was in a threesome with a few women. But I digress, and it's all allegations. I allegedly think she was in cahoots with women in Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, she called that time that she had got raped, or she so called said she got raped or whatever on her living room floor. She probably saying that that's a rape now. She probably wasn't even saying that then.
But
That's
she let
my
him in
issue
the.
with this stuff. It's like after the fact now, it's rape and I was manipulated some kind of way, but back then it wasn't. That wasn't.
Yeah, because she had sex voluntarily with him a couple of days after, and I'm pretty sure he gave her money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
why would you
shit.
still be hitting up? Why would you still be? She said she was checking up on him. Why you still checking up on somebody who you claim is walking around with a knife in your hand? Yeah, I think Janelle Monae is a tether.
Is
Oh,
she
she
really?
is. I
Let me
thought she
check.
was Black
Let me
American.
make sure.
Yeah.
Let me make sure.
She allegedly she's trying to have her own Diddy party, but in her own way. I heard she be
She gonna get
butt
caught
naked
up.
at parties. One of my coworkers, she's not originally from LA, but she was out there and she went to a party that Janelle Monáe threw, and she be butt naked in the pool and shit.
I can see
She be
that.
Allegedly,
butt naked everywhere. I
Yeah,
be
she
seeing
do.
she be butt naked.
she got nice titties. I ain't gonna lie.
She got a nice
Yeah,
body.
Oh,
I
y'all
like
know,
Janelle
yeah,
Monáe. I
y'all
ain't
know,
gonna lie.
nice
y'all know
40
Men
year
in
titties.
Black, the fourth one with the female and the white guy who played Thor.
Hmm.
Y'all
Uh,
know she had. I know she had a sexual relationship with that female from Men in Black 4.
nah, I didn't know that. I knew
Yeah,
she was
I
messing with women.
and that's not allegedly. That's something that actually happened. They had a sexual relationship.
I
They
asked what her ethnicity is. It said she gay. What the hell? She is an African American descent. A fact that, let me make this larger. African American descent. Uh, okay, where are her parents from? They hiding it now. Parents ethnicity.
Somebody popped up there.
African American. Her mother, Janet Robinson, and father were also African American. Jonelle's parents, who separated when okay, it looks like she is Black American. Kansas.
She
from Kansas.
Baptist. That says a lot.
That would have said Baptist.
Right there at the end of that, at the Kansas
Okay,
City.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Well, it's confirmed. Then. Yeah, it's a Black American.
Can you pull
Yeah.
up Black 4? I just want y'all
No,
to see a visual of who her.
can I do what?
Pull up Men in Black 4. I need to start doing this podcast with my laptop more.
Up, that's all you need. If it got a camera on it, you got it.
I'm on my cell phone. That's why.
You can do it on a cell phone.
I never did. I never broadcast from my cell phone before.
Yep, you can.
Uh, so what? Why you want me to bring up Men in Black
Big,
4 International? Huh?
bigger.
They can charge
Like
you
F. Gary
sex
Gray,
trafficking,
he did the
children,
Men in
drugging
Black.
people. What's
the
tranquilizers?
one who played Thor. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know F. Gary Gray did that. Was he the director? Okay, what you saying? My bad. I don't know.
The female main character. What's her name?
Tessie Thompson.
Yes,
This,
that's who Janelle Monáe had a relationship with.
yeah, she could have picked somebody better than her. But whatever.
They
Let
said
me
they
see.
had a great time. That it was very magical. Sexual tension was strong, and yeah, it was a lot of other words they used too. But
Lord have mercy.
yeah, that's Janelle
Confirmed her bisexuality
Monáe.
and also stated that she and Janelle love each other deeply. Okay. Well, they sliding, huh?
More than bumping,
Yeah,
sliding.
they bumping uglies, whatever they say.
Okay.
They trying to match thoughts.
A
Tessa, ain't
bunch of
she
women.
like English or something? She from England?
Uh, okay, let me see. Uh, ethnicity. Let me see right here.
Afro Panamanian, Mexican,
African.
English, German, Irish, Scottish.
Oh, you looked it up already? That what it said?
Yeah, her father is Afro Panamanian. Her mother is half Mexican and half white.
Well,
English.
allegedly, these two met at a Diddy party. Allegedly.
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
That's the thing, bro. So we like you hear him doing all this crazy shit. We know everybody was at the Diddy parties, but yet nobody ain't saying nothing about that. What's up with that? Like that. That's just weird to me. Nobody else has came up. No other famous people.
Because they all got some bullshit that they didn't did. They just gonna stay out of it. Just be silent.
She had to be coached on to not bring up anybody else's names. She had to
Oh, you know
be.
she did. Yeah, you know that.
How can we you talk about these situations and not bring up any other celebrity name? You only bringing up the people who don't matter. Yeah, that's some.
So that taints it for me, bro. When you deliberately hiding certain people, and yet you trying to, going after this one guy, that taints the whole thing to me. That messes everything up. It's no longer justice. Now it's targeting. Now you're targeting people, and I don't like that.
It hurts your credibility.
Yeah, yeah. Now I just want to throw the whole thing out. Now I don't want to listen to nobody. You
But
know what I'm
isn't, I wouldn't say a crime or anything, but isn't it an offense where you accept money knowing some uh I guess criminal things were in play?
So you talking about with Cassie? So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, she committed crimes, but I believe they had to do an impunity. They had the impunity deal if she testified. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't be indicted on anything because she did admit. She said that, hey, I was there, participating. Like I was ordering people and I was, requesting and getting guys and all that kind of stuff. But they had to offer her an impunity deal. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, because she was always saying she was paying these escorts with Diddy's money. She always said it with Diddy's money. It was Diddy's money.
Yeah, yeah. But she ain't had money. What money she had?
Yeah, but I'm saying
She
she made that clear, so it wouldn't seem like she was looking for these people herself. But I think she was. Sometimes, like we said she was on these drugs, I think sometimes she was hooking up with these folks, these escorts and whatnot, bro, and paying them.
That's what I'm saying. She was never innocent. I definitely do remember people calling her the bad girl of Hollywood before Diddy even got a hold of her fully.
Hmm.
Like Cassie was like, you know how Rihanna attitude was in the beginning of her career, like a bad girl persona. Cassie had the similar persona.
I said this earlier, man, but it seemed like her career would have probably had taken off, but when she came out, it was like the same chick. It was so many of the same chick at the same time. She came out. You had Sierra. You had a whole bunch of.
Yeah,
It
you're
was
right.
it was like
Carrie
100 different pretty light skinned skinny dancing girls that was singing at the time.
Tinashe was out around that time. Carrie Wilson.
Yeah, and
But
she
she
got
but
caught
she
up in the.
did she did her music that song that it was pretty catchy, bro. So I thought something was gonna happen with her career, but
What?
nothing ever
It's
happened.
me and you
Yeah.
now. I've been waiting. Think I wanna make my move now. That song.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Baby, tell me how you like it, please." I mean, yes, it was catchy. She was on 106 at Park. She performed it on 106 at Park. Yes, it was catchy. I remember when it came out. I think I was in eighth grade, going to ninth grade.
Me and her the
Yeah.
same age, so and I just thought, when I think about music, I kind of think about how it would appeal to white folks. Because white folks be the ones who buy it. They be the ones that go to the concerts. And I could see them just loving that song and, waiting for her album to come out.
But like Lowski said, like was she really standing out? Like she's a very
No.
ambiguous looking woman, but you have to also look at the other females that was out around her around that time too, like Anne Marie. I feel like her, Anne Marie, and Tiana, they all, not Tiana Taylor, but the other Tiana from Love and Hip Hop, they all kind of have that same light brown skinned look. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, would her music really would have popped off? You know?
No, y'all right. It was like some cookie cutter shit, just reproducing the same individual. Like they
And
tried to do the boy bands. That
yeah,
shit was
and
corny.
pushing herself really that hard. She was. I feel like she was really trying to ride Diddy's coattail because Diddy is the music industry.
Yeah.
Hey, boss lady, on YouTube they say you can sing. You need to start singing more.
Oh, stop! Don't make my head big. I swear, y'all be gassing my head up on here.
All right, now
Yeah, be gassing my head. Don't make me
She
big
know she
headed.
like that.
we got to put you in the studio. You're gonna have to make the theme song for the
She could be the
podcast.
next Cassie.
Don't do that. I mean, shit. If I'm the next Cassie, I'm gonna keep my like Young
What you talking
Miami.
about? The freak off? You talking about the freak off side?
All of it.
If I'm gonna be the next Cassie, at least get
When
five
you
hundred
talking about
thousand a
studio,
month.
what you talking?
I'm gonna get 500,000 a month, the most expensive golden shower you will ever pay me.
Oh man, bro,
Shit, times is hard. I'm not trying to work for nobody.
man, you gonna rub some nut on raw nipples?
Like baby, like Johnson and Johnson. That shit gonna be like Afro. What is it? Afro, Astro Glide.
All right, man. Well, look, man, we gonna end it there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I really appreciate y'all coming through. Oh shit, wait a
Pleasure.
minute.
No problem, bro.
Anyways, oh, can y'all hear that?
Nah, it's popping.
See, it does this, man. They gonna have to fix that shit. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
it.
gotta fix that shit. All right, man. Well, listen, I appreciate y'all. Man, we had a great show, and for everybody out there,
We can't hear you now.
It did sound spooky.
No, it did. We can't hear you. But I think you were signing off though. So everybody, everybody appreciate Lowski appreciates y'all coming through. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Y'all already know what to do.
Like, subscribe, and
And
share.
share. That's right.
And follow us on Twitter. Don't be scared.
Facts.
Don't be shy.
All right, Lowski.
Can Lowski hear us?
He probably can, but we can't hear him.
Lowski, if you can hear us, put a thumbs up. Oh wow.
You put a thumbs down.
We can't hear you. That's crazy.
All right. Peace.
Later.
All right, man. Everybody from my side, I appreciate y'all coming through. That was Big Lowski. Y'all go follow Lowski at Black Enterprise on YouTube. Let me see. I can give y'all his exact. It is American Black Enterprise on YouTube. You can follow him over there. You can also follow him on Twitter at Big Lowski. You can also follow me on Twitter at DJ Roddy, even though I don't DJ no more. And make sure y'all hit the like button over here. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. And as always, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.